already, North Platte. Brigham's Tap Room has a brand new menu you do not want to miss. Catch all of the action on game day with your favorite teams. The Huskers, the North Platte Bulldogs, and the St. Pat's Irish on their big screens. Pair the excitement with our amazing drinks, and you've got the ultimate game day experience. Don't forget to enjoy axe throwing with your friends. Brigham's Tap Room, where great food, great drinks, and great times come together. Brigham's Tap Room, 1100 South Jefferson Street, North Platte.
Jackson Thomas, escorted by Jennifer and Justin Thomas. From the 30 to the
30, the 45, oh, from like, all the way from about the 30, the 40 to 35, and they're like, that's just football. There's only 2 tennis seniors, from what I know.
Get to the 10 anyway.
Yeah. We're going to have, he wasn't joking when he said that we're going to lose a lot. Yeah, he wasn't joking. He was not kidding.
The following is an Eagle Media Sports presentation. North Platte High Sports on NorthPlattePost.com, FM 98.1 and AM 1410 are brought to you by Another Round Sports Bar and Grill at River's Edge Golf Course, Premier Toyota, Let's Go Places, Kroll Clinic Physical Therapy and Athletic Enhancement, Smokin' Double D's at Butch's in Hershey, Zeller Motors, Bad Apple Repair, fix your iPhone or iPad, Rooster Roll-Offs, The Gathering Spot, and the Justin Thompson Agency, American Family Insurance.
Herbert in motion. The pitch out to Sam Herbert. He's going to have some space for the legs. Hit the open field. Sam Herbert with the touchdown. I mean, he exploded through that open hole. Ewing's attack finds the mark. 21-13.
Today's game also brought to you in part by the D&N Event Center, Mid-Plains Community College, Runza, Great Plains Foot and Ankle, Farm Bureau Financial, Larry's Glass, Dave's Place, Puro Clean, Bill Summers Ford Honda Lincoln Nissan, Great Plains Health Sports and Therapy, Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment, and Shelter Insurance, Pete Falls and Brent Rogo.
The ball comes out once again, and it's picked up by the Bulldogs. Another fumble, this time from Michael Wojcicki, and North Platte's going to pick it up. Holy moly, yet again this Bulldog defense coming in clutch. As Fuller now fires into Dibert. That one drilled out to center. It's going all the way. Another home run for the Bulldogs. They take the lead, 9-8. Are you believing in miracles right now?
Watch today's game live at NorthPlattePost.com. Brought to you by WB's Fun Center and Brigham's. Here's the voice of the Dogs, Paxton Gordon.
Welcome in, everybody, here to some high school football action on the WB's Fun Center live stream, FM 98.1 and AM 1410. I'm Paxton Gordon here today as we welcome you in for some football action. Millard South and the Patriots travel into North Platte to take on the Bulldogs. 6-1 for Millard South compared to tough loss last week, Mr. Smeltzer to Lincoln Southeast. And as I said, my co-host is here today. That is Jeff Smeltzer. Mr. Smeltzer, it's good to see you. You probably caught last week's game, and you have to feel the same type of grief and heartbreak that I did, because that was probably the best 4 quarters we've seen from this football team this season, and they just came up literally a minute and 50 shy of actually pretty much guaranteeing a playoff spot and picking up a victory against a rival in the district.
Oh, for sure. It was a heartbreaker.
Oh, yeah.
They played so well. They moved the ball. Just that long pass there at the end, quarterback kind of escaped. They let somebody get behind him and completed the long pass. And then the quarterback keeper on the zone read on the goal line, I think there may have been some miscommunication. There was no containment there. Yep. I think our end went for the back, and ouch. They were good, though.
They were. I was very encouraging that game was, yes, unfortunately, and it really exposed that young secondary that is unfortunately getting a lot of time now because of injuries and absences. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good game. The first half, a little rough for the defense. They shut it down in the second half, minus that last drive. And then you couldn't have asked for anything better offensively. I mean, you eked off over 9 minutes of clock on that last drive, that last touchdown drive. You left them with a minute 50, which everybody would say, oh, perfect. You left them with a minute 50. Your defense should come out and essentially ice the game. And for the most part, they only gave up one huge play, and outside of that last drive, there's that one big touchdown grab on the play action to their tight end. But outside of that, I thought the defense as a whole played much better in the second half, but they just came up one play and essentially a minute 50 shy of at least staying 500, because they are facing, in my opinion, the best team in the state of Nebraska in Millard South, and this offense is just on a whole new level. And we talked about Omaha Westside last year was a crazy good offense. I feel like this team just might be a whole step above with not just the weapons that they have, but also Jet Thmala, who is just having himself a year this year. 27 touchdowns, 1 interception, over 2,000 yards passing, and that's how they've gotten to 6-1. And again, their one loss was against an Arizona prep school by 10 points.
Right.
Which, compared to Creighton Prep, who lost to, who also had an out-of-state game, where they got blown out and now sit, I think, 3-5 now, following their loss to Omaha Westside on Thursday. Two different sides of the spectrum, and this Millard South team is the real deal.
Oh, for sure. This is by far the best quarterback the Bulldogs have seen all year.
Yep.
He's the real deal. You've got a Florida State committed tight end,
Chase Lofton.
And number 11, the other tight end, is just about as good.
And he's not, and the thing is, Chase Lofton isn't even leading the team in yards and receptions. That's going to Isaac Jensen, their other tight end, who is, again, just as good. And that's what scares me so much is you have Amarian Jackson, you have Amir Hill, you have Chase Lofton, you have Isaac Jensen, and then you can't forget about Gabe Perusha, who, yes, is not the focal point at running back. He has 498 rushing yards, and he's a good receiving back, too. So it's like, oh, my good heavens, where do you begin to stop this team? Because no matter where you try to focus your focal point, then you're like, well, crap, there's...
Yeah. We have not seen receivers as fast as Hill and Jackson. We haven't seen
size,
big, tall,
tight
smooth tight ends that are, both 6'6", 225.
I don't even think we've ever seen a tight end that big ever.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of maybe a smooth tight end that the Bulldogs have faced in their recent years. And I don't even think Omaha Westside had something like that. They were just more straight up downfield speed, but they never had that that vertical tight end that is also super smooth that can bust open in the middle.
Watching these guys, doing some drills here in pregame warm up, they're the real deal. Dogs need to get some turnovers, need to win the turnover battle.
Which I think they've only won once.
They've
only won it once this season, and that was against, of course, Omaha Benton and Lincoln Northeast. But those were, of course, you can't really count those essentially just because they're two of the worst teams in the state.
Right.
So it's tough to use those. But they've had chances. They've had chances all season to win it. It's just unfortunately on their end, they're the ones who are coughing the ball up more than receiving it, and that's a scary thing because this game you have to play. You hate to say it, but you have to play perfect against Millard South, and that's just not doable any which way you look at it. But tonight you're gonna have to, if you at least want to have a chance at maybe late in the game winning this one.
Yeah, the margin for error is really, really slim for the Bulldogs. Boy, these guys, it was probably all said and done, there's going to be at least 5 Division I commits off of this team.
And I think all of them are on the offensive side.
Yeah. Their kicker just kicked a long one. They're just solid everywhere. But you never know. You know, we weren't supposed to match up with Westside 2 years ago and came away with the victory.
Yep.
So you never know.
You can't take out of the fact that drive, that almost it's basically 4.5 hours with how slow they have to go for buses. And today with the wind, they probably had to go slower. So you can't mark out that super, super long drive because Westside, they came in hot fire, best team in the state by a landslide, and they didn't look like the best team in the state that day. And it could, could happen here. You never need to count it out, but the margins for error are slim to need to be none if you at least want to have a chance of winning, and you have to force. Again, it's tough, Jeff Mullen, to make a mistake. He's only thrown 1 interception this entire season, and I believe that was in that opening game against that Arizona prep team.
Yeah.
And outside of that, he's been perfect. But again, Millard South playing a lot of teams that we've played that are pretty at the bottom of the barrel. Haven't really faced a good team outside of that.
Kearney.
Again, we say it every year.
They hung 50 on Kearney. Ouch.
We say it every single year that, hey, maybe this Kearney team might have something, and then they face the number 1 team or number 2 team. We're like, never mind, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
But it will have to be slim to none errors, and you have to make sure the Bulldogs maybe might get a break their way. But again, Millard South hasn't played a team like North Platte when it comes to how physical they are and just how upfront they are with their running attack, which again may seem pretty easy to stop, but when you play a Bulldogs team, it's much harder than you think.
Yeah, mentally they, like you said, they made the long drive out here. They're not used to doing that. And they haven't faced an offense like this.
Was that Kearney game home or away? I'm trying to remember if that. It might have been a home game, I think.
Oh, I can't remember.
But they haven't most certainly ever gone this far in their entire careers.
Yeah, because we all know Nebraska ends at Kearney.
That's how
Eastern Nebraska doesn't think this is even Nebraska. But anyway, the good thing is Bulldogs are playing they're playing their best offensive football that they've played all year.
Yes.
So that's a plus. Defensively, they're a little beat up in the defensive backfield, so.
Of course, the worst position you wish you were. Yeah, tonight you wish more importantly they were not as beaten up as they are. But again, I thought positives take away against Lincoln Southeast. Lincoln Southeast was kind of a good primer for this game because that team can sling the rock. Yes, we all know that Butenbach is their bread and butter rusher, but that team is a sneaky good passing team as well. So this was at least a good initiation for that. I would say new secondary, but now new starting secondary to at least get some action against this Patriots team, which will go 4 wide, 2 tight ends set all the time, which will it'll keep the Dogs guessing, and they will have to pay attention to all those motions.
You better wrap up when you tackle because they'll house you if they break one.
No, they will. Yeah. They will. And what we will do with another break is take a said break. We come back. Head coach Kurt Altick sat down with me and talked about the upcoming game against Millard South. Again, number 2 team in Class A. Bulldogs right now 15th in PowerPoint projection, so they are on the cusp looking in for a playoff position. We'll see how they do tonight. We come back here on the WB's Fun Center live stream, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and on NorthPlattePost.com.
Save money at the pump at Quick Stop with the DinoPay app. DinoPay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings. The Sinclair DinoPay saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and For Real Shakes and Smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers. Quick Stop.
In a lawsuit, a little extra liability protection can go a long way. I'm Justin Thompson at the Justin Thompson Agency. A personal umbrella policy from American Family Insurance offers $1 million or more of coverage over and above the limits of your auto and home policy. And it's affordable. Contact Justin at the Justin Thompson Agency at 501 South Dewey Street or call 534-2400 today.
American Family Insurance.
The DNN Event Center wishes everyone a great sports season. With North Platte and Nebraska weather, things change quickly and can make our lives a little more difficult. Thank goodness for the DNN. The DNN offers hourly rentals for all types of sports practices, including turf, courts, batting cages, and equipment usage. Call the DNN Event Center to schedule your team's practice times and for more league information for all sports seasons. For over 30 years in our community, for your next event, the DNN Event Center.
Get ready for another electrifying night of fun under the stars at River's Edge Golf Course. Join them on Friday, October 18th for the return of Night Golf. It's a 9-hole, 2-person scramble with tee-offs from the Reds. For members, it's just $110 per team or $55 per person. And for non-members, $130 per team or $65 per person. That includes a cart, sleeve of balls, 2 drink tickets, a prize fund, and light-up wristband. Don't miss out on the most thrilling golf event of the year. Sign up today at River's Edge Golf Course.
This is the Bulldog Pregame Show from FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Presented by Quick Stop. Always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Hey everybody, Paxton Gordon here, Quick Stop Pregame Show. I'm joined as always by head coach Kurt Altig in the warm abode of his office and not distanced by our travels to the east. We're back home once again this week taking on Millard South, but before we can jump into that Millard South game, we'll first go over last week against Lincoln Southeast. Coach, a game that I thought was the closest remnant to a full four quarters of good, consistent play, and you came up just short in the end, losing to Lincoln Southeast and falling back below 500 for the third time this season. Take me through that game, which I thought was probably the best game you guys had statistically, not just statistically, but just in terms of general play all season.
Yeah, you know, we actually played really, really well, especially offensively. I mean, they did not have anything to be able to try to stop us offensively. You know, we turned over the ball one time, which hurt us, but, you know, in the end, you know, we were kind of one play away. Defensively, you know, in the first half, we had, you know, some guys trying to do too many things all at the same time, and you know, we kind of got that shirt up for the second half, except for, you know, the last few minutes of the game, and we had a breakdown in coverage, and, you know, they're a good team, and you know, they took advantage of it, and, you know, we still had the ball with, you know, 50 seconds or so left to try to win the game, and, you know, we marched our way down the field and just, you know, ran out of time.
It really did. It felt so close, and you did I think the most that you could have done with the time you were given. That fourth quarter specifically, I mean, you probably eked as much clock away as you possibly physically could. You stringed it out as long. I think it was an over 8-minute drive that last possession was before the final possession to end the game. But as you said, first half defensively was a little hit or miss. There were some good drives when they really needed to, but gave up a couple of big plays. And then offensively, just like for the whole season, they really, Lincoln Southeast, well, a good team, both offensively and defensively, just had no stop to what you guys were putting out there on the ground.
Yeah, they really didn't have any answer for us. And, you know, and our coaches, our offensive coordinator, Coach Workmeister, and our offensive coaches did such a great job of getting our kids in positions to be successful. And we ran the same play 38 times. So as you could see, you know, Southeast, they didn't have an answer. And, you know, we got the ball with just a little over 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter and scored in that drive with just under 2 minutes left. So, I mean, that's our brand of football. And if we could have just got one more stop in the game, it would have been a little different. And, you know, our season would be a little bit different right now. But as it is, you know, we still played really, really well. We did a lot of good things. Our kids came out and played hard and, you know, played our brand of football. And again, you know, we're not going to give up to the very, very end.
And that's the exciting thing. You know, of course, another long road trip. You're kind of 1-2 in those long road trips. Come back win against Norfolk, then fell in a pretty tough fashion to Columbus. This was kind of the game where you were hoping to see that team that you've seen a couple of times at home really show up. And boy, they showed up in style, scoring on the first drive and looking really engaged through all four quarters. I didn't see any real lapses in terms of, you know, big coverage breakdowns that were due to not overly trying, but just like not really showing a lack of effort.
Yeah, you know, we talked all week about being able to get off the bus, and we did that. I mean, we did a really good job job. The kids came out and they fought hard. We talked this week that, if that team shows up against Columbus, that game goes way, way different for us. But it is what it is, and we just got to now focus on the task at hand, and that's trying to get playoff eligible. And, Millard South stands in our way. And so we're going to come out and give them what we got.
Yeah, Millard South, probably the toughest team you'll see all season. You go from Omaha West Side, one conference to another conference with Millard South in it. You're still on the outside looking in or hanging on by a thread at this point for playoff contention from the last that I saw. You knew how important that Lincoln Southeast game was. On the way back home, really, what was the team mentality and overall thinking going that not only did you guys in the closing seconds fall in heartbreaking fashion, but then have to then bounce back and face probably one of the best teams you'll see all season?
You know what? Luckily, our seniors were on the team that were Omaha West Side, came here a couple years ago, and no one gave us a chance, and we came out and won that game. So that's what we're looking at. I mean, if we win this game this week, we should be playoff bound, and so that's what we're focused on is coming out and controlling what we can control, and that's playing our brand of football, and hopefully Mother Nature helps us out a little bit. It's supposed to be windy and rainy, and that'll help teams that are going to come out and run the ball versus try to throw it all over the place.
And Millard South, a very, very high-powered offense, passing-wise, a lot of skilled weapons, them all out there at quarterback. He is probably one of the top-tier quarterbacks in all of Class A. So if the weather were to make its approach like it's predicted so far, that'll put some good metrics or some good feathers in your cap to go alongside that. Millard South, while being a really strong team, hasn't again faced an offense like this. The closest that they probably faced was Lincoln Southeast, but that's really more of a mirror shade compared to what you guys are from a physicality standpoint.
Yeah, Millard South's going to come out. They're going to be physical. But as you just said, they haven't faced anybody like us. They faced a Millard South team that kind of runs some stuff similar, but not exactly how we run it. And so we're going to come out and do what we do. We're going to take what they give us, and we're going to be happy with 3 yards in a cloud of dust the whole game, and put on 8-9 minute drives and keep their offense off the field.
And, of course, good news from my vantage point, what I saw, no injuries from the Lincoln Southeast game. So anything going on this week in terms of injury updates to the people that were having some nagging throughout the last couple of days?
We didn't have any major injuries, just your normal football things. Guys, have a tweak here or a bump there, but nothing too important. Obviously, we lost a few guys a couple weeks ago, and, unfortunately their seasons are done. But, as we talk all the time, next man up mentality, and, we're plugging guys in here and there, and we're going to be ready to get after it.
How happy were you and just feel relieved to see once, Brecken Torres came back, as well as Eli Broman, the outside runs started to get more efficient, or at least started to look like what you guys were hoping for? Yeah,
Brecken is one of our faster guys on our team, and having some team speed there really helps. And he's played that position for 3 years, and you never want to have any of your seniors out. And Broman comes in, and he's just a devastating blocker for us. And having those guys out there obviously has opened up our outside game, which then in turn opens up our inside game. And we're going to come out and we're going to do our thing, and we're just happy those guys are back on the field with us.
Love to see it. We'll step aside here. Quick stop. Pregame show. When we come back, we'll get into the keys against this very, very strong Millard South team. Number 1 team in the district and number 2 in the state, right here on our Quick Stop pregame show. 27 locations open 24 hours a day.
Got a crack? Get it fixed fast at Larry's Glass. From windshields to windows, Larry's Glass in North Platte has been your trusted glass repair and replacement experts for over 40 years. Whether it's your car, home, or business, Larry's Glass gets it done right the first time. They've also got a job for you if you've got the talent. Don't let a little crack become a big problem. Call Larry's Glass at 532-7675 or stop in at 211 East 5th. Fast, friendly, and reliable service you can count on.
Looking for a car buying experience that's a cut above the rest? Welcome to Zeller Motor Company, where you can experience the difference. With over 40 years of combined sales experience, Nate and Joe know how to get you behind the wheel of your dream car. And when it comes to financing, Amanda brings over 20 years of banking expertise to make your deal smooth and stress-free. Why settle for ordinary when you can experience the difference at Zeller Motor Company? Visit them today and drive away with confidence.
This is the Bulldog Pregame Show from FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Presented by Quick Stop. always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Welcome back. Quick Stop pregame show. Paxton Gordon joined by head coach Kurt Altz. As we said, Millard South, probably the toughest team in your district and the second best team in the state ranking-wise, and in my estimation, that in my heart, the second, maybe even the best team in the state. They will be coming the long trek here, and the last time we had an Omaha team that drived this far, that was close to the top, they fell to you guys in a closely contested battle, and looking to do so once again. Take me through what this Millard South team does so well offensively and defensively in prep to this game.
Offensively, they have playmakers all over the field. You know, they got a bunch of, Division I prospects, and they're athletic and they can go make a lot of plays. Defensively, they have guys that fire off the ball really, really well, and they got a bunch of team speed. So our job once again offensively, we're gonna grind it out. We're gonna run the clock. 3 yards in a cloud of dust and make their offense watch us as we go down the field.
As you said, such skilled position from all the quarterback. He is not only good as a thrower, but he does have some good wheels. And really what's come alive in this second half of the season has been the interior and exterior of the line. They've done a fantastic job in terms of sealing the edge and keeping a contain on the quarterbacks last couple of weeks. Not many opportunities for any of those dual threat quarterbacks to make some big plays with their legs. So you got to feel confident coming in at home that this defense will be able to step up again.
Yeah, our defense this week, we're kind of opposite of what we've been. We've really focused on stopping the team's run and making them try to throw the ball over the top to beat us. And this week is basically the opposite. We're gonna spread it out a little bit and invite them to run the ball. And keep the ball out of their dynamic playmakers that are on the edge.
I'd love to see, of course, another tough opportunity for the young outside corners. Of course, going to have another week of the starters, again, without Harper Whitney, who's done for the season. How did you feel that rotation did last week, again, against that Lincoln Southeast team? Yes, there are a couple of big plays given up, but overall, how did you feel they do?
We did a pretty good job. The couple big plays that we gave up passing-wise was just because we had guys in there that weren't as comfortable as they have been and didn't quite get themselves in positions that they should be. But we've had another week of practice, another week of work and stuff, and that's kind of what happens when you get sometimes those third and fourth string guys. They don't get the looks and the amount of time in practice, but then all of a sudden, hey, now you're a starter, so you got to step up, and they're going to get majority of the reps this week and be ready to go for Friday.
Another week always brings some good expertise and experience to a very young line. Of course, let's now jump into our Owls Lock and Safe keys to the game. Securing North Platte and surrounding areas for over 50 years. Coach, offensively, it's the same old, but I feel this week's going to keep continuing to power its way through.
Yeah, we're just going to come out and do our thing. If we run the ball, run the same play 38 times, when we do that, we're going to come out, we're going to grind the clock just like last week, and play our brand of football and make them have to stop us.
And then, of course, defensively, more so going to use a lot more cornerbacks this game more particularly with how much they're going to be running. Do you feel more as this team, again, more of a man approach? How do you feel switching between man or zone where you just continue to stick one-on-one with the guys?
We'll probably, with their dynamic, playmakers on the outside, we'll probably play more of a zone look. And you know what? They're going to make plays. They're too good of a team not to. Our job is, keep them in front of us and play one play at a time and get pressure on their quarterback and make him have to make quick decisions.
Don't give up the big plays, the coach model has been the last couple weeks. Coach, thank you so much once again stopping on by. Can't wait to see you for yet again another upset victory at home when you see you on Friday.
Thank you very much.
It's time for high school football tonight here from SandhillsPost.com and NorthPlattePost.com. This is the Quick Stop pregame show. I'm Derek Beck. Let's go through scores from last night, and we'll look around the area this evening as well. And again, we do have weather in the area tonight to deal with as well. We're hoping we don't have any delays tonight because of lightning, but can't rule it out either here in western Nebraska this evening. Last night was a beautiful night other than the wind for football. Garden County took out Banner County. That was a forfeit last night. Banner County will not finish the season. Garden County ranked number 7 in 6-man. Hitchcock County took care of Cambridge in Class D2, 34-0. Layton over South Platte last night, 46-38. Maxwell beat Brady in a shootout, 58-28. Mullen, this is a football score. Mullen 84-12 over Bayard last night in Class D2. This was a Goliath of games. North Platte St. Pat's came into the game last night, their last regular season game as the number 5 team in the state, hosting Arapahoe, the number 3 team in the state, and St. Pat's got it done. Mild upset there between 2 top 5 teams. St. Pat's 24, Arapahoe 14. Yeah, so that'll be interesting when the playoff brackets come out, because both of those will be in the, along with DCS, who's a top 5 team as well. Brackets will come out tomorrow morning for the 8-man ranks, which those playoffs will start next week. Also last night, Pleasanton big over Sandhills Valley, 62-20, and Potter Dix beat Creek Valley, 76-26. Okay, let's spotlight games tonight in Class A. North Platte's going to have their hands full this evening at Bauer Field. North Platte taking on the number 1 team in Class A, Millard South, tonight. North Platte has pretty much been eliminated from the playoffs. They have one more week to play next week as well. North Platte 3-4, Millard South 6-1 on the year, and the top team in the state. North Platte took down a top 10 in Omaha West Side 2 years ago at home. Will it happen tonight? A little Bauer Field magic? We'll see. You can listen to that game on FM 98.1 and watch the WB's live stream at NorthPlattePost.com. Class B, McCook, who just beat Ogallala last week at home. They are 5-2 now, and they are at number 5 Scotts Bluff in Class B. The Bearcats are 6-1 on the year. That takes us to Class C1. Cozad 5-2 at Holdridge, who is 2-5. And the game that we have on Flat Rock 100.7, Chase County at Ogallala. Longhorns are 3-4. Ogallala is just 1-6 on the year. Both of those teams are out of the playoff hunt, but do have games next week. Chase County, I believe, was sitting 22nd. They'll only take 16 teams in C1. Chase County sitting 3rd in the district, ahead of Ogallala. Let's go to 8-man. This is the last week of the regular season in 8-man ball, both D1 and D2. Their playoffs will start next week. Playoff brackets come out tomorrow. Number 4, Dundee County Stratton. They get the week off, a little extra time to prepare for the playoffs next week. They have a forfeit against Southern Valley, who didn't finish their season. Dundee County Stratton finishes 7-1 in the regular season. Perkins County 5-2. They are taking on Hemingford, also 5-2 in Grant tonight. And Sutherland 2-5 on the year. Sailors are at Bridgeport, who is 5-2, and that takes us to Class D2. Maywood Hayes Center 2-5 on the year, hosting Bertrand 1-6. The Vikings tonight. And also in D1, number 1 team in the state, Sandhills Thedford versus Hyannis tonight. Hyannis Longhorns are 4-3. And then in 6-man, 3 games from the area tonight. Number 2, Arthur County. They're undefeated, hosting Crawford today. That game's probably final. I probably should go find the score for you. In Medicine Valley, 0-6 at 3-3. Paxton tonight. And Juanita Palisade 2-4 on the year at number 9. Wallace Wildcats are 5-1. That's our look around the area tonight. The Quick Stop pregame show continues with your game next.
Thanks for listening to the Quick Stop pregame show. They have 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop. Game time is just moments away on FM 98.1.
Get ready for the ultimate fun day out. Start at Pregame's Tap Room with a brand new menu you won't want to miss. Catch all of the action on game day with your favorite teams on our big screens. Pair the excitement with amazing drinks, and you've got the ultimate game day experience at Pregame's Tap Room. And when you're ready for more fun, head over to Wild Bill's Fun Center. Dive into our action-packed arcade, knock down pins in our bowling alley, and gear up for an epic laser tag battle. There's something for everyone at Wild Bill's, where the fun never stops.
Buying a car, it's not always the most pleasant experience, but it doesn't have to be that way. 23 years. That's how long Premier Toyota has been in North Platte community, delivering a car buying experience that's friendly, easy, and fun. Check PremierAutoplex.com first, then stop by your lot at 2600 South Willow Street in North Platte. Come see us. Premier Toyota for your next new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Premier Toyota at PremierAutoplex.com.
The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM, KOOQ AM North Platte. Enjoy great food, including new bone-in wings from Merrick's Ranch House. Dine in, order online at merricksnp.com. Use DoorDash or call 532-8200 for carryout.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Bauer of Field on the WB's Fun Center live stream, FM 98.1 and AM 1410. Paxton Gordon alongside my co-host Jeff Smeltzer. Mr. Smeltzer, rain update here, because that's probably the talk of the town. The pretty much today is what's the rain going to look like? We'll probably get about a 45-minute stretch where we will get rain. The rest of the night, no rain. It's unfortunately sticking itself and planting it in Ogallala, and we're just on the outer line, about maybe 5 miles from actually getting something substantial.
Yeah, one of the few times you really want it to rain during a game. I think rain and wind would benefit the Dogs.
Yes.
Wind has picked up a little bit from the north to the south. Probably not enough to affect things much,
Nope.
but the wind, there's a little bit of a breeze. Flags weren't flying early, but
now they're flying.
They're flying a little bit.
And, of course, you were wishing, because, again, Jet Thmala, 2,111 passing yards, 27 touchdowns to just only 1 interception. So kind of hoping that wind and rain would kind of affect the throwing and they'd be forced to go to the ground game, but might get a little bit of a stretch of rain if we're lucky. If not, we're going to have a clean game weather-wise for today. Bulldogs taking on the number 2 team in all of Class A, Millard South, and the Patriots. Patriots 6-1, Bulldogs 3-4, as the Bulldogs will be receiving, which means, of course, Millard South will be getting the second half kickoff. Jeff Smeltzer, it's time to jump into our Double Dip Ice Creamery starting lineup. We'll put you on the Bulldogs, so take it away offensively.
All right, the Bulldogs offense. You got the big boys across the front line. Number 67, Cale Jacobson. 71, Carter Dishman. 74, Brock Matuzak. Seth Penn, number 60 at guard. 64, Logan Bassard. Your receivers are Jace Powell and Max Nagley. Caden Johnson will be the quarterback, number 2. Rance Hofstetter will be one speed back, number 1. And Brecken Torres, number 10, the other speed back. And your power back, number 7, Alonzo Torres.
We'll start then on the offense here for the side of Millard South, as that's all their coach providing me here for today. Of course, Jet Thmala, the starting quarterback for Millard South. Marion Jackson at wide receiver 1 with Amir Hill in the slot. Deshaun Prince at wide receiver 2. Isaac Jensen starting tight end. Chase Lofton right beside him. Gabe Prucha at running back, as the kick is up from the side of the Patriots and back deep to return it into the end zone is North Platte High School, so they'll start their first drive today against this Millard South team at their own 20-yard line, 1st down and 10. Jeff Smeltzer, I really believe the Bulldogs have to score on every single possession in this game if they want to keep it interesting or keep it close, and that means they need to score here on this opening drive against this very, very tough physical defensive line from the side of Millard South. Again, Rance Hofstetter as well as Brecken Torres, the starters. They have Eli Broman in right now. You said Jake Kincaid moved to tight end for today's game, and I think for the rest of the season. Of course, Alonzo Torres right behind Caden Johnson, who's under center for North Platte High School. 1st and 10. In motion was Eli Broman off the left side. Right side is Alonzo Torres, and he gets absolutely nowhere. No gain for Torres off the snap, and 2nd down and 10 for North Platte High School.
Yeah, and if you don't score, at least run a lot of clock.
Yes.
Chew up as much time as you can. Keep that offense on the sidelines as much as you can.
And it's going to be tough. This is a very, very speedy Millard South defensive line. They got some, not only big boys, but they got some speed coming off the edge. So it is going to be quite a tough challenge for North Platte High School today if they want to. I want to say keep it interesting, but at least keep it close in this game. As Johnson under center again, right behind him, Alonzo Torres. In motion, Brecken Torres. Jolson going to keep it, pitch it. Now, here comes Alonzo. Here comes Brecken Torres, bounces to the outside. Brecken Torres at the 30, and he'll fall out of bounds close to the 35-yard line. They'll say exactly at the 35-yard line, so a pickup of 15 for the senior Brecken Torres. The Bulldogs get a 1st down.
Just what we needed. If you look at this Millard South defense, they do not respect the pass at all. They've got all 11 guys are within 8 yards of the ball. They've got 4 down linemen, 5 linebackers, or they're moving their corners in a little bit.
They do have 2 deep safeties, but when I mean by deep, I still mean it's pretty close inward. But good outside blocking from Max Negley to give that Bulldogs a good bounce to the outside. And we might have an offsides call as up the middle with it. Alonzo Torres goes, and he gets nothing. I was going to say maybe we have an offsides call, but
no flags.
No flag, and with that, a 2nd down and 10. It's going to be a tough day for Alonzo Torres up front as, again, this is a very, very, very potent defensive line for Millard South as it's 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs, and they are going to need to get some rushes, some good carries on the inside, or it's going to be a long day for the Bulldogs. To the far side, Max Negley, as now Johnson under center once again. He's going to look towards his sideline. 12 seconds on the play clock for North Platte. They look to get a change in. 8 seconds. 7 seconds now. Johnson under center. In motion comes Torres. Handoff. Right side with it now comes Alonzo Torres, and he'll fall forward for maybe a 4-yard pickup, making it 3rd down and 6 for the Bulldogs. At least 3rd and manageable with 10:18 left to go here on the Wicked Fast scoreboard. And it's 7:03. Kickoff happened 3 minutes ago, and outside right now it is a balmy 56 degrees. Time and temperature brought to you in part by Lindemeyer Law Office. Johnson under center. Big presence from the defense of Millard South. They were showing blitz for a second but backed out. 3rd down and 6 yards with 9:54 left to go here in this first quarter. Johnson again under center. Eli Broman in motion. Johnson's going to keep it, and now cut back upfield. Caden Johnson going to slip through the open field. He's going to fall forward to the 46-yard line. If he kept his balance there, Caden Johnson might have gotten a touchdown.
Excellent run that time by Caden Johnson. Great decision to keep the ball. Good blocking over there on the right-hand side. And those of you watching on the stream, if you don't know who number 48 is playing tight end, that is Jake Kincaid.
He's moved from the offensive line now to tight end, which I always thought was a better fit for the young Kincaid.
Yeah, he's athletic, and he's got good size. So he's not wearing 55 tonight. He's number 48.
So it's 1st down and 10 for North Platte High School inside Millard South territory at the 46-yard line. 9:23 left to go on the Wicked Fast scoreboard. In motion comes Torres. Off the left side, Alonzo Torres gets nowhere as they're on the stop. Daxton Williams, the 5'11 junior, gets in on the stop, and Alonzo Torres gets nowhere with that run. 2nd down and actually 11. They'll say he lost a yard. And it's going to be tough up the middle for the Bulldogs today, but they need to keep pounding the rock up there or it's going to be a long day on the perimeter as well.
Things are ripe for a play-action pass. I just don't know if you want to stop the clock. I think the clock is your friend.
Yes. Yeah, I would always say pass it if you can guarantee it's catchable.
Play as much keep away as you can.
2nd and 11 now at the Millard South 44-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the far side. Broman now in motion. Johnson going to keep it and pitch it to Eli Broman. He's in some open field at the 40. Tries to cut back. He's still going. He's at the 30, 25, 20. He's still going 15, 10, and he falls to maybe the 10-yard line. How about Eli Broman and Caden Johnson playing a perfect read option there? The Bulldogs are in the red zone. It's 1st down and goal for North Platte.
The very last block that was laid down there at about the 15-yard line was Caden Johnson. Caden Johnson, not only did he pitch the ball, he got down there and made a nice block.
1st and, they'll say not 1st and goal. They actually make them lose 2 yards, so it's 1st and 10 at the Millard South 12-yard line. 8:16 left to go here in this first quarter. Bulldogs driving on their opening possession today, Jeff Smeltzer.
Looking good. This is exactly what you need to do on your first possession.
Johnson now off the right side, Alonzo Torres. He tried to sneak his way forward. He'll get maybe to the 10. It's 2nd down and 8 for North Platte High School. Again, this is, as you said, exactly what they needed to do. Eke as much clock, but they need to score a touchdown on basically every single drive to keep this game at least close because we know how potent this Millard South offense is.
If you can. You don't want those empty possessions, but if you can score, if you can chew 5 or 6 minutes off the clock, that's...
Jake Kincaid substitutes out with Jace Powell substituting in, and a lot of formation changes defensively here for Millard South. 15 left to go on the play clock. You're going to see a lot of that fakeage and movement from this Millard South defense, so the Bulldogs will have to stay very focused offensively. Johnson under center. Brecken Torres in motion. Going to pitch it out now to Brecken Torres. He's going to try to get to the edge. Torres will be tackled on the perimeter there by, this time, Amarian Jackson, the star wide receiver for this Millard South offense. Brecken Torres, he'll get pretty close and might be third down and about 5 yards for this Bulldogs offense with 7:02 left to go here in this first quarter.
Good hard running way to lower those pads and take on the defender. And it's nice to see Broman healthy.
Yes.
You know, he went 3 or 4 games, little ginger. And,
same thing with Brecken Torres. A lot of what ifs this season. How would this rushing attack look if they had 2 healthy speed backs on the outside? As Grant Hofstetter now in motion off the right side. Alonzo Torres into the end zone. Touchdown for North Platte High School. It is a 5-yard touchdown, 7-yard touchdown run for Alonzo Torres. And guess what, Jeff Smeltzer? North Platte takes the lead on their opening possession, 6-0 against Millard South and the Patriots. What a great opening drive for North Platte High School. 6:38 left to go in the first quarter. Each 6 minutes off, and they ended with a touchdown. Jeff Smeltzer, probably the best this team was looking for out of the starting gate.
Couldn't ask for anything better. Might be premature, but do we have extra goalposts in case these get torn down after the game? Extra point.
As that extra point is up and good. North Platte High School takes the lead 7-0 here to start this ball game out. You said perfect way to start this drive, Jeff Smeltzer. And when you are, electing to receive, the first half kickoff, you really have to score on your opening drive. Back-to-back weeks now, the Bulldogs did so. They now lead 7-0 on the Wicked Fast scoreboard. Thank you again to our Sports Zone sponsors, though, here for today's game. Premier Toyota. At Premier Toyota, you'll find a friendly and easy to work with staff that'll help you find the perfect car for you, whether you're looking for something new or pre-owned. As well as River's Edge Golf Course, featuring modern amenities, a beautifully maintained golf course, lush greens, and breathtaking views of the North Platte River. River's Edge Golf Club delivers one of the best golfing experiences in West Central Nebraska. Now, the question is, Jeff Smeltzer, what do you prefer, a long drive from Millard South, or do you want a quick one so the Bulldogs can continue to eke as much clock as they can?
I'd like a fumble on this kickoff is what I'd like.
Well, the problem is this Millard South special teams is pretty good.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that earlier. I don't know how you defend them if you play zone coverage on the back end or if you try and go man.
Coach said that they will predominantly be playing zone today in the secondary. So they'll get a lot of easy stuff down low as Luke Borges' kick is up, and it's going to be received by Amir Hill at around the 2-yard line. Hill now going on the near side. He's at the 20, breaks through a tackle. Amir Hill now at the 35, going to still keep going, and he will finally be brought down around the 37-yard line. Amir Hill takes it out about 35 yards for Millard South, and here comes that high-powered offense of the Patriots for the first time today with Jet Thmala leading the charge. Again, 27 touchdowns to 1 interception, 2,111 passing yards. This is going to be quite a game for this offense of the Patriots as they'll put out 4 wide receivers, 2 to the near side, 2 to the far side. Them all in the shotgun. 2 to the near side being Chase Lofton, as well as, I think, Dayton Gaius. Actually, correction, that is Amir Hill to the near side. Hill in motion. They're going to pitch it to Amir Hill. Hill now at the 35-yard line, tries to bounce around the outside, and he is stuffed there. I believe Caden Johnson first on the scene, as well as Lathan Huntsman. That is a 1-yard loss for this the Millard South offense. It's second down and 11. They do a lot of those jet wide receiver sweeps, as Amir Hill is the second leading rusher for this Millard South offense.
And since it was a little flip forward, that's considered a pass, so he's 1 for 1 passing for -1 yards.
Pistol formation for Thmala. Going to hand it off to Prucha up the middle. Prucha with a hole. Going to keep going forward, and he's tackled from behind there by Gabe Moreno. He'll get a good chunk of yards, maybe 7, to make it third down and a manageable maybe 4 yards for this Patriots offense. 5:10 left to go here 5:40 left to go. Another quick snap up the middle with the Prucha. Prucha will get the first down. He's still going, and he'll fall to around the Bulldogs' 45-yard line. 5:30 left to go. First fresh set of downs for Millard South. A lot of hurry-up offense from this Millard South offense. 4 wide receivers once again, shotgun formation. As timely called to at least allow the defense to set up by the officials. Thmala in the shotgun. Steps back. Quick wide receiver screen to Marion Jackson. Jackson now at the 40-yard line. He'll try to break through a tackle, and he'll fall to around the 36-yard line. Another first down for Jet Thmala. We've got to slow it down so Jeff Smeltzer can keep going here. First and 10. Second and 1. They actually lost a yard. Second and 1 for this Patriots offense. Thmala again in the shotgun. Steps back, looking to throw. Thamala with plenty of time has Carter Dishman running. Carter Dishman almost got him. Thamala still looking, throwing, and it's picked up by Marion Jackson at the 30-yard line. Jackson breaking through some tackles, and he'll fall down at around the 26-yard line, so a fresh set of downs. The big Carter Dishman got in the open field, and he had a tough task of getting the speedy Jet Thamala, but no good as Thamala was able to get it to Marion Jackson. Fresh set of downs with 4:40 left to go here in this first quarter.
You didn't see it, but Dishman put his man right on his backside when he
Prussia
rushed. Oh.
now off the left side into some open daylight, but a lot of black jerseys, and a pink flag comes out for breast cancer awareness. Might be seeing a hold on the near side here. It's around the line of scrimmage, or we could also be seeing an offsides call. So there's a hold on the offensive side, and that's exactly what we needed, because again, it's going to be a lot of hurry-up offense from the Patriots, and no team this season, minus that Arizona prep squad, has been able to stop them. As Gabe Moreno checks in now for Carson Davis with his fist. Again, he's broke his hand a couple of weeks ago, so he's all gloved up with, I think what do they call it? The
club?
With a club. He's all clubbed up with still playing football. Love to see the determination, but it's now first down and a long 20 for this Millard South offense. 4:19 left to go. 5 wide receivers. Gabe Prussia to the far side. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the near side. 1 being Chase Lofton. Again, the 4-star commit to Florida State, as well as Amir Hill. Hill in motion. Thamala stepping back, looking to throw. He'll look, and now we'll pass it to Amarian Jackson on a screen, and Jackson in the open field. Amarian Jackson still going. Jackson now at the 15, spinning, will get pushed out of bounds around the 11-yard line. That's probably the most creative screen I've seen, Jeff Smeltzer, as Amir Hill went into the flat on the far side, but they threw it to Amarian Jackson. Uh-oh. Could we be seeing maybe a lineman down the field?
We got a hold.
Another hold, so it was a 1st and 20. We'll continue to back this Millard South offense up, but man, oh man, what a play that was.
You kind of thought something was up when Hill went in motion, and Thamala looked at Hill, who was open, and decided not to pass to him, and found the even more open.
Yeah, and then I believe it was still, I think, a design wide receiver screen.
It was a design screen,
You've never seen it over the middle. I've never seen it over the middle before, so with that run, though, Millard South will start almost essentially at their original starting position. It's 1st down and 9 for Millard South following their hold. Chase Lofton to the near side, 3 wide receivers to the far side. Gabe Prussia to the left of Jet Thamala. In motion comes Jackson. Thamala, play action. We'll now give it on over to Jackson. Jackson, though, immediately picked up on the side there for North Platte. Eli Broman did not let Amarian Jackson get much. He might have picked up 2 yards to make it a 2nd down and maybe 7. Oh, they might even say he didn't give any. Well, we're seeing how
they've got it spotted for a game, but they haven't moved.
Oh, another penalty? Oh, my gosh, they got a legal shift on the Millard South offense. That's 3 penalties in a row for Millard South.
Sideline infraction.
Oh, sideline infraction. Okay, so we're going to lose it down, or what's going on there? So it's 2nd down and 7 for Millard South. I guess it's a warning.
Yeah, okay.
So, alrighty then. So 2 wide receivers to the near side with Chase Lofton as well as Amarian Jackson. 2 to the far side. Prussia to the right of Thamala. Thamala stepping back, looking to throw, has plenty of time. Jet Thamala looking, going towards the end zone. Wide open Amir Hill, and he waltzes in for the touchdown on a crossing route over the middle of the field. And that's going to be the problem with zone defense, Jeff Smeltzer. This Bulldogs team, more known for its man-to-man coverage, left Amir Hill wide open, and he waltzes in for a free touchdown of about 28 yards.
Oh, you have 5 threats out there running pass patterns. It's tough.
It is. And again, this Bulldogs secondary is the most banged up part of this team. And again, when a team that's known for running man defense switches to zone as the kick is up, and it's good, you know there's going to be at least some trouble. But Jeff, about 3 minutes and 28 seconds go off the clock there. So we're now tied 7-7 here at Bauer Field with
One quarter almost underdone in the Wild Bills Fun Center live stream. So 7-7 on the Wicked Fast scoreboard. 3:09 left to go. Thank you to our Sports Zone sponsors. Here for today's game, Justin Thompson Family Agency with American Family Insurance. With the ever-changing industry standards, they pride themselves on top-notch customer service, no matter what type of insurance you are looking for. As well as Kroll Clinic, whether on the field, court, or diamond, injuries can happen. At Kroll Clinic, they specialize in sports injuries, helping you get back in the game faster. So, Jeff Smeltzer was a 3-minute 30 drive starting at their own 36-yard line. I thought the Bulldogs did their best. I mean, it's, again, hurry-up offense, something they're not accustomed to. Of course, you always know at some point Millard South's going to score, but for 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go away, I thought that was pretty reasonable.
And if you don't notice this at home, two of their tight ends are both 6'6".
One of them is a 4-star recruit to Florida State.
And number 9, Jackson's, he's a tall kid too, 6'2" or 6'3". They're just big, long, rangy receivers.
6'2", 185, and Amir Hill, their smallest at 5'8". As the kick will be actually received on the near side for the Bulldogs, has taken it out now. Lathan Huntsman. Huntsman trying to bounce to the outside, has a little bit of daylight, but he gets absolutely mauled by a lot of white jerseys, and he won't even get to the 20, might be the 18-yard line. So the Bulldogs will start a little bit less than what they would have if it got into the end zone, but after a first drive that went about 6 minutes, 30 seconds, Jeff Smeltzer, and a touchdown, you're hoping the Bulldogs can replicate that drive. They did get a lot of good breaks in terms of the breakdown defensively for Millard South, but they got to keep chipping away.
Just keep doing the same thing. You don't need to deviate from what you're doing.
Jace Powell to the far side, lone wide receiver. Max Negley in at tight end to the far side. Johnson under center, right behind him. Goes Alonzo Torres, and he's immediately stuffed.
Oh, no.
But he'll break through it. Actually, it's Caden Johnson. It looked like it was going to be stopped immediately there by Adam Pugh. But Adam Pugh bursted through the line, but good awareness from Caden Johnson to keep it himself. Got 7 yards. It's 2nd down and 3 with 2:42 left to go in this first quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the t-shirt
24 seconds left on the play clock. So again, I'm going to expect North Platte to keep taking away as much time as they can from this Patriots offense.
For Bulldog Country.
Powell still to the far side. Johnson under center. Can now hand it off right side, and then again immediately stuffed there by Elijah Malessa, the senior defensive lineman. That's now the 2nd time in a row that both Pugh and Malessa just burst through the center of the defense. It's a loss of, maybe 3 yards. It's 3rd and 5 now for North Platte High School.
They're shooting gaps there.
They may be big. They're also pretty quick up front.
Yeah, and I think quarterback keeper's still the way to go on this. Fake that handoff.
So 2 wide receivers to the far side for North Platte High School, 1 to the near side being Max Negley. As Johnson gets under center, overloading this near side. Johnson going to pitch now to Brecken Torres. Torres tries to cut back upfield, and he's brought down from behind. He won't get anything. He actually will lose 2 yards. As once again there to stop him, Adam Pugh. And it's 4th down and 7 for North Platte. They couldn't get anything, and it all comes down to those 2 tackles for losses up front from Malessa and Adam Pugh.
Yeah, good lateral movement by their linemen. Very quick, very strong. And when you see these better teams in Class A, I don't think there's anybody going 2 ways right now. I think they've got an offense and a defense.
When you have that many people, sign up for football, you don't have to worry about doing 2 ways.
You've got some fresh bodies out there, and they've got a lot of athletes.
So here comes the kick. That's Jaden Dowse with a nice end-over-end pick. Actually dropped there by Marion Jackson around the 40-yard line. He'll now try to push it to the far side. Cuts back upfield. Jackson, he will still keep the legs turning.
Oh, did he lose the ball?
The balls might be on the floor. So Marion Jackson did lose the football, picked up on the far side by William Guthmiller.
I think Camacho and Haremza were there, among others.
But Millard South will still have possession of the football with 46 seconds left to go in this first quarter. And timeouts brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. So here we go. Thamala still in at quarterback. 2 wide receivers to the far side. A double tight end set with, of course, Isaac Jensen in as the real tight end. Thamala gets the snap. He'll step back looking to throw. Thamala now crossing route to Jackson. He drops him. And this is something that I've been seeing a lot of because of how vertical this Patriots team is, there's going to be a lot of open daylight on crossing routes in the middle of the field.
And we haven't seen the same formation repeated very often by the Patriots here.
Very deep
a lot of different formations, a lot of different looks. Those crossing routes appear to be open. I'm sure the coaching staff for the Dogs will make some adjustments.
4 wide receivers again. Thamala will have a man in motion, being Amir Hill. He'll go behind Thamala and be looking, checking down. It's going to be another screen and picked up by Gabe Prucha, and he will sneak through a tackle there from Lathan Huntsman, and Prucha still going down the field, and he'll get to about the 46-yard line. Lathan Huntsman, I believe, actually, correction, that's Eli Broman coming up from his cornerback position. Almost got him, but it's another fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10 for the Patriots.
So important to wrap up. You're not going to knock these guys down with a shoulder blow.
And now Gabe Prucha on a quick play action to Chase Lofton. Lofton will be upended at around the first down marker. He'll get enough, an 11-yard pickup for Chase Lofton. And the chains keep moving and the offense keeps pushing. 23 seconds left to go before the end of this first quarter. 2 wide receivers to the far, 2 to the near. Shotgun formation for Thamala. Thamala going to hand it off to Prucha up the middle. Gabe Prucha will get the legs turning. He'll fall forward close to the first down marker. 14 seconds, so the Patriots might have enough time, but we do have a slow person getting up. Jackson Halverson for North Platte High School, slow to get up for the Bulldogs. And actually, it's Carson Davis who was slow to get up, and now he'll come off the field, so an injury timeout had to be called. So there's 9 seconds left to go here. 2nd down and 3 for Millard South with 9 seconds in the first quarter. 2 wide receivers to the near side in the bunch formation, 2 to the far side. The ball might go for the end zone. In motion comes Amir Hill. Oh, and there's going to be an offside call on North Platte. Again, there's going to be so much motion from this Millard South offense. I'm not going to be shocked there's going to be a lot of offside calls by North Platte today. Again, they've never really seen a team that's had so much pre-snap motion before. So now it's a free set of downs, 1st and 10, and Millard South gets close to the end zone here. Now pistol formation for Thamala. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. 2-1, and then they'll go now into the end of the first quarter. On the Wicked Fast scoreboard, it's 7-7 as we finish quarter number 1. We come back here to Bauer Field on FM 98.1, AM 1410, live streaming on the Wild Bills Fun Center, live stream.
Puro Clean of North Platte delivers fast water, mold, and fire damage restoration services to the North Platte area. Puro Clean knows how challenging those times can be to you and to your family. Their Nebraska-based experts have a winning, reliable combination of training and equipment partnerships. Local, fast service in the North Platte area. Their average on-site time is 60 minutes, and they'll coordinate with your local insurance provider. Give Puro Clean a call now at 1-800-775-7876 and schedule a visit from a member of the team at Puro Clean in North Platte.
Whether you're a weekend warrior, youth, or professional athlete, the Great Plains Health Sports Medicine Team has you covered. The team includes orthopedic surgeons, athletic trainers, and other healthcare specialists who spend their time at local high school and college sporting events, ensuring that athletes stay as injury-free as possible. In the event of an injury, the team remains committed to returning athletes to competition as quickly and safely as possible.
Contact the Great Plains Health Sports Medicine Team by calling 308-568-7456.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Bauer Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, a video live streaming on the Wild Bills Fun Center live stream. 1st down and 10 here in the second quarter for Millard South. Timeouts brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. Thamala in the pistol formation. Now we'll hand it off to Prucha. Prucha bounce it to the outside. He'll spin almost through one tackle as there to bring him down for North Platte High School, Trayton Burke. Burke's first time getting into the tackle column, and it's 2nd down and 7 for Millard South.
Excellent job of wrapping up that time.
He almost broke through with it.
Yeah, Prucha's a good running back. You do have to wrap up on him, or he's gonna break free on you.
He doesn't have that many yards, but he can still play really well. Thamala stepping back, going to throw. Quick out route now to Amarian Jackson. Breaks through one tackle. Jackson around the sideline will step out of bounds as he'll pick up maybe 9 yards. And there's Amarian Jackson, one of the best wide receivers in the state. And, man, he is shifty as he breaks through one tackle. And just like that, it's a 1st down for Millard South and the Patriots. Thamala still setting things up offensively. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Isaac Jensen in as a tight end off the left tackle into the far side. Marion Jackson, Chase Lofton. Thamala stepping back, looking to throw, has a rusher. It's Carter Dishman again. He'll roll to his left. Still rolling. Jet Thamala going. He's looking, and he'll be pushed out of bounds. Actually throw the ball forward. And he will get towards the 14-yard line. So Thamala trying to get extra yardage by throwing the ball forward. But it's a huge loss of maybe 4 yards for Millard South to make it 2nd down and 14. He tried to maybe get it back to the line of scrimmage by fumbling it out of bounds. Maybe it could have been an incompletion.
Just an incomplete pass, I think is what he was trying. And I don't know why they didn't give him the incomplete pass.
Maybe he got past the line of scrimmage.
Well, no, it's a loss of 3.
Oh, it's a good point. So Thamala going towards the end zone. He overthrows it, intercepted by Jace Powell. There's the 2nd interception of the season thrown by Jet Thamala. He overthrows a Marion Jackson on the far side, and Jeff Smeltzer, the Bulldogs defense, gets their first turnover tonight.
That's right. You got to win that turnover battle.
We talked about forcing mistakes from an almost perfect team, and there's an unnecessary mistake by Jet Thamala. He overthrew a Marion Jackson on the far side, and Jace Powell easily picks it off.
The receiver kind of looked over his inside shoulder first, and the ball was thrown to his outside, and he just couldn't make the adjustment in time, and Jace Powell with an excellent defensive play.
Caden Johnson under center again. Alonzo Torres right behind him. To the near side, Brecken Torres to the far side. Eli Broman. Broman in motion. Up the middle now comes Caden Johnson with it. He tries to break through a tackle, but he'll fall to around the about 36-yard line for a 2nd down and maybe 5 yards here for North Platte with 10:50 left to go here in this first half.
That's 27 yards on 3 carries for Caden Johnson.
That's what you're going to need today, because so far they are all dialed in on Alonzo Torres, which is, a good sign, because Torres has been just wreaking havoc on the inside all season for the Bulldogs. So Johnson again under center, 2nd down and 5 with 10:30 left to go on the wicked fast scoreboard. Broman in motion. Up the middle now with Alonzo Torres, and again, he just gets nowhere. This initial push and initial jump from this Millard South defensive line so far overpowering North Platte, and Jeff Smeltzer, it's really starting to come down raining now. And that's maybe why Jeff Thamala threw that interception. It's coming down pretty heavy.
Yeah, don't give up on those body blows, those jabs with the power back up the middle.
3rd down and 4.
Not working now.
Yeah, at some point it will. You just got to keep going. 3rd and 4 for North Platte. 9:58 left to go here in this 2nd quarter. Inside their own territory. In motion comes Rance Hofstetter. Johnson going to keep it himself and try to cut upfield, but he is brought down from behind. I think his leg gets snagged up, and I believe there to stop him, Brandon Kiger, and that's another 3 and out for the Bulldogs offense. It looked to start pretty good, but Johnson gets tripped up and no gain to make it 4th down and 5. Another punt for North Platte High School.
Previous punt was decent, but punts have been an adventure all season. So,
as Jaden Dowse, the punter here for North Platte High School, kicked a nice one last time. See if he can do it again with the wind to his back. Powell. High, booming kick towards the sideline, and it will take a nice bounce and still stay in bounds and finally fall out at around the 36-yard line. You'll take that. Again, knowing how much of an adventure it's been with kicking this season. Luke Borges, who is a fantastic field goal kicker, has had some issues punting this season, and it's cost the Bulldogs in many of games.
I don't know, were we on punter number 4 for the season, or at least?
No, it's really been just
because I think Camacho had a punt.
Camacho had one, and then it's been Luke Borges and then Jaden Dowse, who's been consistently been doing it now for the next couple of weeks. But 1st and 10 for this Patriots offense. 9:07 left to go. They threw an interception in the last time out. They were driving, though. 9:07 here in this 2nd quarter on the Wicked Fast scoreboard. Have you downloaded the Mike Phillips 66 app yet? If not, you're missing out on so much savings with Wicked Fast. Thamala in the shotgun formation with to the right of him being Gabe Perucha. 3 wide receivers to the far side. To the near side, Isaac Jensen as the outed tight end. Thamala gets the snap. He'll step back and look to throw. A rush from the Bulldogs. Secondary, no good. He'll now roll to his right. Jeff Thamala going to take off with a lot of daylight. Now at the 50-yard line. Thamala will be swung down by Lathan Huntsman and Jace Powell at around the 48-yard line. So a new fresh set of downs for Jeff Thamala. He almost got sacked again. but is able to escape. And again, zone defense left it wide open for him to run to.
Tamala has good speed. Yeah, too bad they just couldn't keep him contained. There was good pressure there.
Amir Hill now with a handoff. Amir Hill going to bounce to the outside and step out after a solid 6-yard pickup. Second down and 4. Yeah, he may be a great thrower, but he's also got that mobility. If into the open field, Tamala will take it and run with it. So second down and 4 for this Bulldogs defense as pistol formation for Millard South. Tamala gets a snap, hands off to Gabe Prucha. Prucha breaks through one tackle, now into the open field. He'll spin through another at the 20 and will finally be brought down at around the 23-yard line. Man, Gabe Prucha, great sense of centering as he will keep the feet turning and get a first down for Millard South.
It's kind of a stat keeper's nightmare. The chains move so fast that I lose my bearing on where they started from.
Tamala, quick check down now to Prucha as Prucha will go to the far side and step out of bounds. Maybe after an 8-yard pickup, the clock will stop with 8:29 left to go. Second down and 2 for this Patriots offense that, once again, is driving down the field with 8:29 left to go here before halftime. Tamala in the shotgun. Prucha to the right of him. 2 wide receivers to the near side with 1 tight end in. Prucha now off the left side, going to try to stop and spin around, but he will maybe get 4 yards. He'll get 4 in a fresh set of downs for the Patriots. As they are threatening to score once again inside the red zone. They had an interception last time out. Pistol formation. Now with this rain, might be seeing them run the ball a little bit more. Again, Tamala throwing his second interception of the season earlier in this game. Tamala now going to play action. Actually, up the middle goes Gabe Prucha. Still going. Prucha will dive toward the end zone. He might be a yard short. Gabe Prucha now makes it first and goal, maybe at around the 1-yard line for Millard South as fresh set of bodies come in for North Platte, being Blake Tonkinson. And up the middle now with it goes Gabe Prucha, and he gets the touchdown. And there it is, Jeff Smeltzer, this high-powered Millard South offense. Started with some good field position and drove it all the way down for a touchdown. 8:06 left to go. They basically took maybe a minute and a half off, and now they take the lead 13-7.
Yeah, Prucha's a handful, listed at 5'10", 215. He has Yeah.
He'll keep bounce off of guys for extra yardages. Now up to kick comes Aiden Marshall. As Marshall's kick is up, and it is good. That's Trent Van Serpsum. As he'll get the extra point, it's 14-7. Here on the Wicked Fast scoreboard with 8:06 left to go, 14-7. Thank you to our Sports Zone sponsors here for today's game. Zeller Motor Company, with over 40 years of combined sale experience. Nate and Joe know how to get you behind the wheel of your dream car. When it comes to financing, Amanda brings over 20 years of banking expertise to make your deal smooth and stress-free. Also, thank you to the Gathering Spot, a place for all gatherings. Baby showers, wedding showers, birthdays, anniversaries, family reunions, and so much more. 14-7 the lead for Millard South with 8:06 left to go. Jeff Smeltzer, Bulldogs need to get a touchdown on this drive. Back-to-back offensive possessions with 3 and outs. You can't be doing that against a high-powered offense that is Millard South. And again, this is where the downside of a flexbone offense kind of rears its ugly head with you only got 5 plays, and they're all basically runs. They'll throw a couple of passes in there to surprise the defense, but you won't really see that much this season.
Millard South is as advertised. They are high-powered, and I'm happy with only giving up 14 points so far.
I think the key is the offensive line needs to really batten down the hatches better on the initial jump, because that's now, I think, the 3rd or 4th time when they've tried to run it up the middle that Gabe Moreno already has 2 white jerseys in the backfield.
He's got 8 carries for 9 yards.
Yeah, and he's really been the bread and butter for this Bulldogs offense when it comes to them finding success offensively. As here comes the kick from Serksom, and it's a high booming kick to the right side, and it might actually fall out of bounds. Actually will not be picked up now at around the 15-yard line by Lathan Huntsman. Huntsman trying to bounce on the outside. He keeps his feet and falls forward to the 23. There on the stop, H.A. Flowers, the senior, and here comes North Platte, first down and 10.
You're not going to have much success going sideline to sideline to get. You got to get upfield.
Their speed is too. Again, every special teams player is always told to come towards the boundary line because the blockers can get set up. But against Millard South, you might have to go the opposite way and go straight up. 8 minutes left to go here in the first half. On the wicked fast scoreboard, it's 14-7 the lead for Millard South and the Patriots. In motion, Brecken Torres. The pitch now out to Alonzo Torres as he'll get his way forward to maybe a 3-yard pickup. Now they've resorted to pitches to Alonzo Torres, knowing that they've struggled to really find good pressure up front. As it's 2nd down and 7 for North Platte High School with now under 7:40 left to go here in this first half.
Yeah, 3-yard gain on first down. I'll take that all day.
Better than what they've been getting prior. 2 wide receivers to the near side being Jace Powell and Max Negley. Believe that's Eli Broman to the far side. In motion, Bulldogs going to keep it. Johnson now going to pitch it out. Here comes Eli Broman. He'll stop and try to cut back upfield, but a great tackle from Marion Jackson coming up from his safety position. Bulldogs might get 2 yards to make it 3rd and 5. Again, you tried to make these quick comebacks, and this speed from Millard South not going to make it successful. So 3rd and 5. Actually, correction, 3rd and 5 for North Platte with 7 minutes left to go. As Jace Powell now checks in, and out comes for North Platte High School, Sam Euling. 18 seconds on the play clock, so plenty of time to get things set up. Millard South has gone to a more relaxed type of box pressure. Johnson is man in motion. Stepping back, looking to throw, and we'll have a false start, I believe.
Looks like that's on the Dogs.
I believe that's going to go against, for North Platte High School, Logan Bussard, who might be the recipient of that false start, and that's huge because there was a prime opportunity to at least get a fresh set of downs, and now it's going to be 3rd and long. As the officials are conversing, they are pointing, though, towards offsides. Okay, so happy about that one. And that'll, I think, give North Platte a first down and a fresh set of downs. How about, I think, a weird storyline so far. Millard South, a lot of penalties so far in this game. Making it 1st down and 10 for North Platte High School. And the chains will be moved. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. 6:38 left to go here in this first quarter on the wicked fast scoreboard. But, man, penalties galore for Millard South in this first half.
3 for 25, and then they had that sideline warning.
Yeah, which is also very interesting. Yeah. So, Johnson under center in motion comes Eli Broman. Johnson going to keep it himself. He'll pitch it to Broman.
He's got room
with
out
some
there.
daylight, with some speed. He's at the 50-yard line. He's at the 40. Eli Broman at the 30, 25, 21 man to beat being a Marion Jackson. And he gets to about the 7-yard line. Eli Broman, after so much turmoil with his injuries.
I think that might be Brecken, wasn't it? It was Brecken.
And there is a man down for North Platte, though, at the near side. As Brecken Torres on the far side does make a huge push for North Platte, but there is an injured offensive lineman on the near side. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Oh, that was an excellent run.
And there's, again, a lot of what-ifs. If Brecken Torres or Eli Broman weren't injured to start this season, their speed would have been so differential. And you saw it right there. Torres with the Jets got a huge burst through the hole. And now it's North Platte in a 1st and goal situation, but
left side of that line, if that was, is that Jacobson out there?
I believe it's Cale Jacobson and Carter Dishman.
That was a great block out there on the left side, and whoever that receiver was, if that was Powell out there.
Well, there is an offensive lineman down, and he has yet to move. He is getting evaluated at the moment. I don't know who that is for the Bulldogs, but 6:16 left to go. North Platte 1st and goal, and we'll step aside and take a break with an injury timeout. North Platte driving and now threatening to score once again. We come back here to Bauer Field on the WB's Fun Center live stream, as well as FM 98.1 and AM 1410.
This October, your choice to buy local can make a world of difference at Bill Summers. Treat yourself to a new ride. No trickery, just wicked good offers that give back to the community. Again this year, Bill Summers is giving back to the community by donating a portion of each sale in the month of October to the North Platte Callahan Cancer Center. So this October, choose Bill Summers for a car buying experience that matters. Stop out today or check out BillSummers.com 24/7. Make a world of difference in our community, one ride at a time.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See me, Pete Foltz, at 501 South Jeffers for a free insurance review.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Bauer Field as Seth Penn makes his way off on the cart. You hate to see that, but a big pickup for Brecken Torres as the Bulldogs now threatening to score. First down and goal for North Platte at the 9-yard line after that big 62-yard run by Brecken Torres. Now Johnson rolling and looking to throw. Caden Johnson going towards the end zone. Touchdown North Platte. Max Negley. Oh my good heavens. A 9-yard touchdown throw from the senior Johnson to the senior Negley. It's 14-13. Jeff Smeltzer with 6:11 left to go in this first half. I don't know what it is with North Platte facing off against two of the best teams in the entire state and doing it at home, but they are playing expert ball.
We got a pink flag out
there. No, please, Jeff Smeltzer, no. And it looks like it'll go against North Platte. I believe a hold, so that touchdown will be negated. So it's 14-7, but a big penalty for the Bulldogs. Negates a touchdown. It's now going to be second down and, first.
No touchdown for the Bulldogs.
So should be still first and goal for North Platte at their now 19-yard line. Johnson again under center. Two wide receivers to the near side being Negley and Powell. To the far side, Broman. The pitch now to Alonzo Torres. Torres will fall forward to maybe get 1 yard or at least get back to the line of scrimmage. So it's second down and goal from a long 19. No gain for the Bulldogs. 5:58 left to go. Heartbreaking penalty on a great play-action pass from Caden Johnson.
That was a beautiful play.
So 25 seconds on the play clock. 5:47 left to go. Max Negley now in motion to reset the offense to the far side. Johnson under center to the near side. Brecken Torres for North Platte. To the far side, Eli Broman. Johnson under center. Broman in motion. Faking it. Caden Johnson now going to be immediately stuffed up front. Couldn't get anywhere. Easton Valletta, the junior, 6'2 defensive lineman, stops Johnson in his tracks, and Caden Johnson might have just gone back to the line of scrimmage. Third down and goal for North Platte High School. You think maybe another pass, Jeff Smeltzer, here? Because they're not getting anything with the run so far unless they want to pitch it to the outside. They have to go to the end zone here.
Even if you can get 5 or 10 yards set up for a field goal.
That'll be enough after that big penalty. Big hold on that touchdown throw. As Johnson with 12 seconds on the play clock. We might be seeing a timeout be called here by North Platte High School to eke as much clock away so they can get more time to evaluate their next play call, and we will be seeing a timeout from the side of North Platte High School. That's their first timeout here today. Man, what a brutal holding call on the offensive line on that touchdown throw from Caden Johnson to Max Negley, negating the 7 points. And now North Platte sits at a 3rd and 19. It's a 3rd and goal at their own 19-yard line, but they got a long way to go.
Yeah, I'd be happy with a field goal if you could get a field goal.
Question.
Hold them.
If they do pass it, but they don't get to the end zone, but maybe get about 6 to 7 yards out, do you go for it? Because now we've always had this discussion of free points, no points versus points. Which one would you take?
I'd take the points. You got a reliable kicker. I would do the same thing, run the clock down as far as you could, take the timeout, kick the field goal.
So it looks like we could be seeing a passing situation as Brecken Torres is all the way to the near side, lined up at wide receiver. Jace Powell and Max Negley to the far side. The first I think I've ever seen of this formation for North Platte High School. Johnson stepping back, looking to throw, rolling to his left. Johnson now in some trouble. Rolling, still looking. Throwing towards the end zone. Oh, it's picked up by Max Negley. Did he stay in bounds? Oh, he juggled it. Oh, my gosh. Max Negley with a huge play. They say he didn't catch it. Negley still has the football. Holy moly, that was almost another big play by Max Negley. They say he juggled it as he was coming down. Negley disagrees. No touchdown.
Carl will pull up the replay.
Yeah, now's the time we need a replay. Max Negley is
Oh,
irate,
man.
but oh my good heavens, the officials on the
They're
far
still
side are
talking about
conversing. And they're going to still say the call stands. No good.
Pass is incomplete.
Unsportsmanlike, I would believe, against Negley. So it's fourth down, and that's a huge unsportsmanlike penalty as that takes North Platte out of field goal range. As coach will go have a word with the head official. I mean, first off, what an amazing athletic play by Max Negley to haul that sucker down over Amarian Jackson. But unfortunately, again, the heat of the moment getting to Max Negley. And because of
Powell
that,
has his palms up like they called it on him.
Oh, on the unsportsmanlike?
Yeah.
Interesting. For sure, I thought it was Max Negley with how he was reacting. Oh, they're bringing the field goal unit. This is going to be quite a field goal here. Jeff Smeltzer at the 34-yard line. This will be the longest attempted field goal this season by Luke Borges.
A 51-yarder?
Oh, boy, man, yeah. 34-yard line is where the ball is placed. This will be for 3 points for the Bulldogs. Luke Borges up to kick, and I think a timeout's going to be called by North Platte.
Millard South has plenty of height across that front line, and
there has been some issues when it comes to the balls, being very low to the ground.
And it needs to be low on those long field goals, and they're going to run 3 6'5", 6'6" kids right across that front line.
Oh man, just what could have been on this drive? 2 potential touchdowns to Max Negley, negated, one by a penalty and one by potential bad call on the far side, saying Negley bobbled it as he was going down with it. Of course, we don't have any replay for what I saw, but it looked like a strong grab by Negley over Amarian Jackson. But Bulldogs will try to settle for 3. This will be the longest field goal attempted this season by Luke Borges. The wind is to his back, so he does have that extra benefit. We have seen him hit some in warm-up, but also we've seen him hit some ugly ones way off on warm-ups.
He's got the leg.
The accuracy on those long kicks, though, is the question. As Broman gets the snap. Kick is up. It's going quite a ways. That one is good. From Luke Borges.
51-yarder.
That is exactly what North Platte needed after a tough drive where they couldn't get a touchdown to come away with 3 points. Huge, huge, huge from Luke Borges. It's 14-10 now on the wicked fast scoreboard with 4:28 left to go, Jeff Smeltzer.
Wow.
Again, we've seen in some pregame warm-ups how he does have that leg. Some of them have gone very, very far left and right, but that wind giving it, Jim, just enough boost to get it in through the goalposts. Now the North Platte just trails by 4. You still are upset with, not coming away with those 7 points, but again, 3 is better than nothing.
Yep. Get that 3 points. That's all right.
So now a big stop with 4:28 is what's going to be needed here for North Platte High School. Again, so far in terms of scoring drives, Millard South 2 for 3. They threw an interception in the red zone on their second possession, and running in was Gabe Prucha on his third offensive drive, with Luke Borges now set to kick it off for the Bulldogs. Wind to his back. It's going to be a little bit of a squib kick, and it's going to be picked up by Amir Hill. He bobbles it, and now he's at the 10-yard line. Hill with some speed, cuts to the inside, he'll break through one tackle. Here comes Amir Hill, now at the 30. Amir Hill at the 35, he's at the 50-yard line. Amir Hill with some open daylight. Amir Hill still going. Amir Hill is now at the 15, 10, 5, and there's a touchdown for Millard South. We talked in the pregame off air how we knew this Millard South special teams was special, and there it was, one Jeff Smeltzer, a 98-yard kick return touchdown by Amir Hill.
I was in my mind, I'm like, do you just squib it to avoid the kickoff return? And then I thought, no, you got a jacked up kicker, you got the wind at his back, he'll put one in the end zone.
That, I don't even know if that, the tough part is I don't know what that was, if that was an intended type of squib kick or if that was just a bad kick from Luke Borges. But North Platte did have some opportunities to grab Amir Hill, but in the end they couldn't. It's now 20-10 on the wicked fast scoreboard with 4:09 left to go here in the first half, with now up to kick coming for Millard South, Trent Van Serksum. Kick is up, low, but it's still good. 21-10 now on the wicked fast scoreboard for Millard South with 4:09 left to go. Thank you to our Sports Zone sponsors here for today's game. Bad Apple Repair. From cracked screens to busted speakers and even those stubborn charging ports, they got you covered with fast, friendly, and reliable service at Bad Apple Repair. As well as smoking double D's at Butch's in Hershey, locally owned and operated, where they smoke their own meats low and slow to bring you award-winning barbecue. Well, 4:09 left to go here before halftime. Jeff Smeltzer, Millard South will be getting the second half kickoff. Best case scenario, they need to score, the Bulldogs do. And outside of 2 3-and-out possessions after their first drive touchdown, last couple of possessions, Bulldogs have looked pretty good.
What are we looking at? About 4 minutes left on the clock?
4:09 left to go here before halftime.
You can still run your offense. You've got time. I think last week in that game where Lincoln High threw in the towel at halftime, I think there were 3 returns for touchdowns by Millard South. I think 2 were kick returns, 1 was a punt or vice versa.
So you know they're every part of Millard South is just special. So, and again, Bulldogs were in position to make some plays, just Amir Hill made those extra big plays.
And I was looking at our kickoff team on that. It was a lot of young kids on there. You want to get when you got so many guys going 2 ways, you want to give them a break at some point. So you have young kids out there on the kickoff return team. And, kudos to Millard South. Well blocked and great return there by Hill.
David Fajardo now up to kick here for the side of Millard South. As it's a kick now to the right side, picked up by Huntsman at around the 50. Oh, he drops the football. It's in the open field. The Bulldogs might not have it. Oh, no, Lathan Huntsman. And it will be picked up by Millard South. A mistake for North Platte High School. As Millard South recovers the botched punt from Lathan Huntsman. And just like that, they'll take over yet again with 4:04 left to go inside Bulldogs territory at the 18-yard line. Lathan Huntsman can make some big plays, but a couple of times this season he has been at the focal point of some fumbles.
Yeah, just buckle down here, fellas.
Don't let it get to you.
No.
You know, it's still an 11-point lead for Millard South as they're now 1st down and 10 in the red zone.
Owen Shea checks in at middle linebacker.
So Lathan Huntsman, I think, comes off. Actually, it's Trayton Burke. Thamala stepping back, looking to throw. Thamala pump faking going towards the end zone. Picked up by Chase Lofton, and Lofton leans into the end zone for a touchdown. 1 play for Millard South, and it's a quick 14-point swing for the Patriots here with 3:55 left to go in the first half, Jeff Smeltzer. What was North Platte looking to get in prime position to maybe answer back and still keep it close? It's now getting out of hand. It's now a 17-point lead for the Patriots. And again, they will get the ball out of halftime.
37 and for the PAT.
Yeah, we talked about the margin for error was pretty slim, and you can't have turnovers on your 19-yard line.
As that kick goes up,
it's good,
and it's good for Millard South. Ugh, you hate to see it, and it's still plenty of time left, Jeff Smeltzer, for good things to come the Bulldogs' way. They definitely now need to score.
Now we still
on this.
Over 4 minutes. They took over
3:55. They took about 10 seconds off of the play clock, but now this Bulldog offense needs to score on this drive. To at least, again, keep it not to within 1 score, but to keep it to within like 1.5.
Yeah. Do what you got to do. Just
shake it off.
Yep.
Got to shake it off. And the Bulldogs have had trouble this season in certain games with shaking off plays like that. Columbus being the prime example.
Letting one bad play stick with you for the next 3 or 4. Just move on.
So once again, it's going to be David Fajardo who will be up to kick for Millard South into the wind. So Huntsman had to really fly in from about the 5-yard line to the 15, so he had quite a distance to cover. And when you do that, that's when a lot of the mistakes come, because you need to get set first before receiving it. And a lot of the fumbles on kickoffs come from having to run up from deep into.
And there's wind out there too that they're kicking into the wind. That might have deadened that ball.
Another high kick, and it's going to be bounced, and Bulldogs have to pick it up. It's on the floor again.
Oh, way to hang on to it.
So Lathan Huntsman will get it again. That's so sketchy because you have to pick it up off the initial kickoff, or it will be Millard South ball. But Lathan Huntsman took a big hit. He does get the football. 3:54 left to go here. I believe there is a flag on the very far side.
Was he hit before? No.
He didn't wave it off. So unsportsmanlike. On North Platte again. So the Bulldogs will get pushed back once more. That's their second unsportsmanlike penalty this game.
So this will be what, halfway to half the distance?
It'll be pretty far. Well, they're starting at their 20-yard line, so probably push them back to at least their 10. So actually it's their 11-yard line. So 1st and 10 at the Bulldogs' 11-yard line. So second personal foul for North Platte. 3:54 left to go here in this first half. Bulldogs trailing Millard South 27-10. Millard South playing it safe, putting a lot into the secondary. So on the wicked fast scoreboard, 27-10 with 3:54 left to go. Johnson under center for North Platte High School. In motion with it now, Johnson will keep it himself. He'll hesitate for a second and he'll fall down at around the 15-yard line. He hesitated almost like he was going to pitch it to the outside. Noticed he had an opening and charged forward for 5 consistent yards, and it's second down and 5 for North Platte with 3:38 left to go on the wicked fast scoreboard. As Johnson will get the call from the sideline, 25 seconds. They kind of have to hurry it up here if they want to score. In motion comes Broman again. Johnson going to go the other way with it. Johnson will be stopped immediately there. I believe that's Carter Glab. It's either Glab or it's going to be Mason Greer there on the stop for Millard South. Actually, correction, that's going to be Solomon Baker. It's 3rd down and 5 now for North Platte. Haven't seen too much success from that opposite misdirection quarterback run this season.
Quarterback counter, and defensive end did a nice job staying home on the play.
3rd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. Breckentor's in motion, but they won't get anything, so they'll adjust the play with 14 seconds on the play clock. 2:49 left to go here in this first half. North Platte trailing by 17. Broman now comes in motion. Johnson's going to keep it. Has some daylight. That hole immediately, closes up. He will be close to that first down marker. I mean, he is maybe half a yard short. Maybe. Oh, they'll give him the first down. So a last-second jump from Caden Johnson gives them enough yardage for a first down.
Boy, that hole closed so quick. It looked like he had lots of daylight. And
a lot of white jerseys just descended upon Caden Johnson. But he got the first down. 2:18 left to go here in this first half. Bulldogs, though, need to really hurry the offense up if they're looking to score. They still have 1 timeout left, but taking a long time to get their play calls in. 2:05 now left to go, so about 10 seconds of runoff as Broman comes in motion. Johnson going to step back, looking to throw. Throwing wide open here on the near side, and he overthrows Brecken Torres on a wheel route. Torres had plenty of daylight ahead of him, but Johnson overthrows Brecken Torres, and just like that, it's second down and 10. A beautiful play call by North Platte High School, just a bit too far in front.
It was there, just led him just a little bit too far.
So now to the far side, Jace Powell and Max Negley for North Platte High School offensively. Broman in at speed back alongside Brecken Torres. Alonzo Torres in at power back. 1:57 left to go. The clock did stop, so that's a little bit of a blessing. And the pitch now out to Brecken Torres. He tries to bounce at the perimeter, breaks through 1 tackle, breaks through almost another, and he'll be spun around the outside. He broke through 2 tackles, and now I think a timeout will be called by North Platte High School, maybe.
Good news.
Actually, it looks like a Millard South timeout. With 1:48 left to go.
Seth Penn is on the sideline in a walking boot, so he's walking around with his teammates.
I'd say that's good at least, but we all know ACLs and Achilles injuries, you can still kind of walk on them.
Yeah, he's obviously not going to come back in the game today.
Maybe a high ankle sprain if we're lucky for Seth Penn, as he did go down on that big 62-yard run from Brecken Torres. So it's 3rd down and 5 for North Platte. 1:48 left to go here before halftime, trailing 17, 28-10. Again, Jeff Smeltzer talked about it in our pregame show about the what-ifs of this season. What would this game be like if they got that touchdown on their 4th drive if it wasn't for that penalty and then potentially the bobble from Max Negley in the end zone?
But then to play devil's advocate, they could say, what if we didn't throw that interception in the end zone?
50 on all of it. So 3rd down and 5 with 1:48 left to go here on the wicked fast scoreboard. Millard South up 17, 27-10. Johnson under center, 3rd and 5. Bunch formation here to the near side, as it looks like Caden Johnson's going to keep it. Tries to pitch it out to Brecken Torres, not the best pitch, as Torres trying to keep his balance. A flag down, I believe a holding call on North Platte on the near side. Going to go against Eli Broman, it looks like. So Breckin Torres wouldn't have gotten enough for the first anyway, but it's a hold on Broman.
It's tough to keep your block for that long because Torres kind of juggled that pitch a little bit.
And he went inside instead of outside, so it's a tough scenario for North Platte, but another penalty, and this one could be a drive killer as it was 3rd and 5.
They decline it.
So it's now 4th down and 5, and here comes the punt unit for North Platte High School. Again, smart move because you can't let Millard South within near. Is another timeout called by Millard South. That's their second timeout used in a couple of plays, and with that, it's 1:39 left to go. 28-10, excuse me, as I have to update our score here. 28-10 on the Wicked Fast scoreboard. And I think Jeff Smeltzer, because he didn't have to secretly whisper it to me, but I think we could be, I'd say go for it on 4th down and 3. Because, again, with the minute, I hate to say it, but with how this Millard South offense just been going down the field, it's almost inevitable with a minute 39 they'd still score.
And we've seen the adventures of the punt unit throughout the season.
Yes.
So
why potentially risk maybe picking up 1 to 2 yards on a punt when you can go for it? But
and we're all in love with Brian Buschini, so
why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
So let's just throw this.
And we all know Jace Powell is a
good arm.
Jaden Dowse is a good thrower, but also he is a good runner as well.
So let's do a little go route down here. Who's at the bottom of the screen? Is that Huntsman?
Yep, or maybe just even a punt keeper.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it before, but I would assume they'd be kicking it here. With back being Marion Jackson. Yep, there's the kick. It's very high, a lot of time in the air. Jackson's going to pick it up at around the 35-yard line. He'll now have some daylight to the far side. Tries to bounce around Trayton Burke there to maybe stop him, and he pushes him out of bounds. So Marion Jackson once again just getting some good kick returns and punt returns for this Millard South offense. They start in Bulldog territory, maybe at around the 41-yard line. For this Millard South offense, 125. I think the Bulldogs really need to stop here.
So where did we punt that from? Where was our down and distance on that?
Around maybe the 25, I think.
Okay, so we did gain 16 yards.
So 3 wide receivers. Chase Lofton now to the far side. Thamala, quick pass, going to throw it now into the flat. I believe that's Amir Hill. Actually, that's Gabe Prucha. Prucha in the open field will fall forward, and now here comes the hurry-up offense. Another first down for Millard South. With 1:18 left to go here in this for halftime. 4 wide receivers on the field, 2 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Prucha to the left of Jet Thamala. Thamala in the shotgun, gets the snap. Still looking, plenty of daylight. Stepping back, rolling to his right, going towards the end zone. Wide open, and it is incomplete. Max Negley there to bat it out of the hands of Chase Lofton. It's now 2nd down and 10. For Millard South with 1:05 left to go. The ball's made some good throws, but he's also made some really, really gutsy, scary ones. As that one just a little over the head of Chase Lofton.
Yeah, Lofton ran a good route that time. I think he had a step on Negley.
He did have a step, but the throw a little high and a little behind made Lofton slow down, and Negley able to bat it away. Thamala with 4 wide receivers still on the field will step back and look to throw. Thamala going deep on a check down route, and that one's greatly leapt and caught by Isaac Jensen. Again, there's that 6'6" frame. Isaac Jensen leaping high up into the sky to pull it down. First down and 10 for Millard South with 1 minute left to go before halftime. They're threatening to score here, Jeff Smeltzer. Thamala now going to hand it off to the right side. Prucha will make maybe 3 yards and will get stopped by this Bulldog defense. And again, we talked about how, man, you don't teach 6'6" out there, and Isaac Jensen reaching to the heavens to pull it down. But it is 2nd down and 8 with 45 seconds left to go.
I think that was Owen Shea on the tackle.
Shea with the tackle. 5 wide receivers for Millard South. Thamala in the empty backfield. He'll get the snap. He looks for a quick throw. A fade towards the end zone to Marion Jackson. Great coverage, but Jackson's able to pick it up, I believe, in coverage. There was Caden Johnson. Johnson unable to turn his head around, and Marion Jackson with the touchdown. As great fade route to Marion Jackson. That's a touchdown for Millard South with 28 seconds left to go. Jeff Smeltzer, they took less than a minute off the clock. And now it's 34-10, a quick 21-point swing in favor of the Patriots in their last 3 drives. As the kick is up, and it is good by the Patriots. I mean, it's just heartbreaking to see, again, what could have been but 3 straight touchdowns by this Patriots defense compared to the Bulldogs.
28-point quarter.
Yeah, you hate, it's just, it hurts. It hurts because North Platte in that first quarter playing so well. I thought we're putting together good drives, and then one bad, who would have thought one bad penalty and maybe a drop pass from Max Negley. Again, that's up for debate, costing the Bulldogs 28 points in this quarter.
Well, they're for real.
We knew they were going to be for real. It was not a shock of whether or not they were going to be the real deal.
Patriots are for real. They're a good team. Just keep playing hard, Bulldogs.
I still love how they're playing this game.
Yeah.
While the points not be in their favor, the things they've done in the first half is something you have to hang your head on. And of course, it's going to be quite a comeback now. They're trailing as far as they are by 25 points. But
you know, this is a team that had their last opponent quit at halftime.
Yeah.
One of their other opponents threw in the towel for the entire season. So
they're short a game.
Yeah.
Millard South is.
So, yeah, Bulldogs just keep fighting.
Now the scary part comes again to kickoffs here. As we all know that David Fajardo kicking it high into the very far right side of the field to Lathan Huntsman as the ball falls down. Again, that wind playing foil to the kicking game today.
Did they move? Oh, no, that's Sam Ewing.
I think that's still Huntsman out there.
Huntsman's deep and Ewing's in front of him on the NP logo.
Yep.
Okay.
Fajardo's kick going high and now going to be picked up maybe by Trayton Burke around the 15-yard line as he calls for the fair catch. So smart by Burke. Maybe could have at least tried something, but I think now it's just hold on to the football.
Field it smoothly. You just
field it and pray. As now here we go, North Platte. 28 seconds left to go before halftime, trailing 35-10 on the Wicked Fast scoreboard. If you download the My Phillips 66 app yet, if not, you're missing out on so much savings with Wicked Fast. As the Bulldogs look to be in the kneel down formation.
Yeah, I guess it would be victory at this point. It would just be the kneel down formation.
As Caden Johnson does kneel it, and that'll do it here for this first half. Millard South, the real deal, comes into North Platte and shows and flexes their muscle. 35-10, they had a 28-point second quarter. 3 straight touchdown drives from Jet Thamala in this offense, and they lead at the half. 35-10 over North Platte High School. Though, again, Jeff Smeltzer, I thought for how much of a beatdown Millard South has been putting on teams, the fact that North Platte could potentially eclipse the points that Kearney put up against Millard South, who is the number 3 team in the state, by the way, you got to be very happy with how things. You have to be, I'd say happy, but you got to be at least somewhat pleased with how this first half went. Offensively.
Yeah, you know, one of the drives you give up a 19-yard drive and you give up a kick return.
Those are 2 easy plays or 2 easy drives if you cut those out.
That's 14 points, 19 yards. I mean, most teams are going to score if you give them a 19-yard drive.
Especially that team. If you give them 19 free yards.
Yep.
There's nothing you can do to stop that. But Bulldogs trail at the half, 35-10 against the number 2 team in the state, Millard South. We'll step aside. We can come back. It's our Quick Stop halftime show right here on the WB Fun Center live stream, FM 98.1, as well as AM 1410.
Attention barbecue lovers. Smokin' Double D's at Butch's in Hershey is locally owned and operated. They smoke all their own meats low and slow to bring you award-winning barbecue. Join them Tuesday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Friday and Saturdays till 11 p.m., and Sundays from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., with breakfast served on Sundays from 8 to 11. And don't miss their chicken fried steak every Friday night and prime rib on Saturdays. Smokin' Double D's, making greatness happen overnight in Hershey.
Attention, North Platte and surrounding communities. Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment is now proudly serving you from their new location at 220 West Leota Street, Suite 1, right next to Great Plains Urgent Care. Their expert team is here to meet all your home care needs. Whether you need wheelchairs, mobility scooters, lift chairs, or more, they've got the equipment to make your home safer and more comfortable. Call Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment today at 308-568-8510 and take the first step towards regaining your independence.
Buying a car, it's not always the most pleasant experience, but it doesn't have to be that way. 23 years. That's how long Premier Toyota has been in North Platte community, delivering a car buying experience that's friendly, easy, and fun. Check PremierAutoplex.com first, then stop by your lot at 2600 South Willow Street in North Platte. Come see us, Premier Toyota for your next new Toyota or pre-owned vehicle. Premier Toyota at premierautoplex.com.
Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998 and is now bringing those services to the North Platte area. Residential services, respite services, community services, and even day services. Hands of Heartland offers a full array of services from 24-hour supports to just a few hours per week. Learn more today online at handsofheartland.com. That's handsofheartland.com. Hands of Heartland, providing creative opportunities to live and grow.
Looking for a car buying experience that's a cut above the rest? Welcome to Zeller Motor Company, where you can experience the difference. With over 40 years of combined sales experience, Nate and Joe know how to get you behind the wheel of your dream car. And when it comes to financing, Amanda brings over 20 years of banking expertise to make your deal smooth and stress-free. Why settle for ordinary when you can experience the difference at Zeller Motor Company? Visit them today and drive away with confidence.
Great Plains Health Orthopedics in North Platte is ready to serve you with board-certified orthopedic surgeons and a team of medical professionals who specialize in hip, knee, and shoulder joint replacements and revisions, minor to complex hand injuries, sports medicine for both the serious athlete and the weekend warrior, new and innovative operative and non-operative procedures, and work-related injuries. Same-week appointments are available. Call Great Plains Health Orthopedics today.
Your health is our mission. Great Plains Health.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
See me, Pete Foltz, at 501 South Jeffers for a free insurance review.
Can you feel it? The feeling of starting something new. The feeling of success. At Mid-Plains Community College, our instructors are ready and willing to support you on every step of your educational journey. Whether you're just starting out or changing careers, MPCC can help you transform your future. Learn more by visiting our website at npcc.edu. That's npcc.edu.
Fall is back and so are sports, which means you need food and a family atmosphere to enjoy them with.
You know where to go. Dave's Place.
The best pizza, cold drinks, and wings. Oh boy, do we have wings. Bone-in, boneless, with 16 different sauces, including our new dry rubs, like blue cheese, honey barbecue, and lemon pepper.
Dave's Place, your next hangout or your big game on East 4th Street in North Platte.
Also offering carry-out and DoorDash.
It's Dave's Place.
Whoop, whoop.
The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM, KOOQ AM North Platte. Enjoy great food, including new bone-in wings from Merrick's Ranch House. Dine in, order online at merricksnp.com. Use DoorDash or call 532-8200 for carryout.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Miller, I say Millard South, but welcome to Bauer Field as North Platte High School is taking on Millard South. It's halftime, 35-10 the lead for the Patriots over this Bulldogs squad. And again, Jeff Smeltzer, they are as advertised. You know, they had to drive pretty far out here. They gave up the first drive touchdown to the Bulldogs, but from that point on, they've been all but that number 2 team in the state.
Yes. We can take a look at halftime stats. We'll take a look at Millard South first. Didn't run the ball a lot.
Yeah, but they did it effectively.
But they did it very effective. Gabe Prusha is an outstanding running back. He's a fire plug, tough to bring down. 9 carries for 60 yards, and I think he had a touchdown.
Yes,
he did. Yes, he did. He had a touchdown.
He had about a 2-yard touchdown run on, I believe, the third drive for Millard South.
And quarterback Jet Tamala, 2 carries, 12 yards. And then there are 1 carry for number 1, Hill, for 6 yards.
Yep.
Now, you look at Tamala's passing, extremely accurate, 13 for 16, 146 yards, and I think he threw for 2.
Yep, and then that one interception on the second drive to Jace Powell.
Yep, right there in the end zone as well. Didn't figure out the percentages there. I'll catch that at the end of the game, but 13 for 16. Coach would be very happy with that any day of the week.
Yep, and that's just a standard for Jeff Mull.
Yeah.
I mean, he is all that is advertised at the quarterback position. He is super accurate, deadly deep arm, also can run the football. We saw him use his legs to great effect on many of plays because, again, North Platte having to go to zone defense here today against all of the targets that Millard South has, and it's can't go man against this team because they'll just beat you with whether it be Chase Lofton, Isaac Jensen.
Speed, height, route running. Yeah,
everything.
They're legit. So, Jet Tamala's real deal. He's got some good receivers to throw to. Let's look at the Bulldogs.
Yes, I thought, even though 10 points might not be the signifier of a good half, I thought overall for going up against a team like Millard South, they've done a pretty fair job, barring those 2 3-and-outs they had after their first touchdown.
Actually, there's going to be some kind of shocking numbers here as we go down the rushing stats.
Give me through it here. I believe Brecken Torres is the leading rusher for North Platte. That I think is a significant yes.
Okay. 4 carries for 80 yards for Brecken Torres. Yeah.
Wipe my hands off on that one.
my St. Pat's math will tell you that's 20 yards per carry.
Plus that big 62-yarder, which was huge for North Platte.
That was a great run. Eli Broman, 3 carries, 44 yards.
Good. Love to see the outside really start to pick up.
Yes.
That was actually, which is shocking to say, that has been their weakest, of course that's due to injury, but that has been their weakest point of offense, has been their outside runs.
And they haven't really needed to go to that because they've been so effective with Zoe and then with quarterback keepers with Caden. Caden Jonasson, 8 carries, 36 yards. And rounding it out, Alonzo Torres, tough sledding up the middle.
That offensive line has got a handful with that Millard South defensive line, and so far it's been Millard South getting the upper hand against North Platte.
10 carries for 12 yards, but it's those jabs that are making those outside runs effective. Keep going with the body blows. That's going to set up your outside runs.
You still got it. You can't. This offense is so one-dimensional. You cannot abandon one aspect of a crucial part because that's when things start to get really, really rough. As you've seen, Millard South has moved a lot of their presence into the box more outside now. So that hopefully if the offensive line can get better jumps off the line on initial contact, should hopefully open up more for Alonzo Torres to make some runs.
And early on, it was setting up for the outside run. You had all 11 guys within 8 yards of the ball, most of them within the tackles, except for a guy who would go out on a receiver that was split out. For a total of 172 yards rushing first half on 25 carries.
Still statistically good.
6.9 yards per carry.
Statistically still pretty good.
The problem is when you have the 62-yard run and you don't score.
Yep.
They held the Dogs out of the end zone.
That's going to be the big talking point is what if North Platte got both of those touchdowns, because they had 2 attempts and they both successfully were able to get 2 of them.
Was that the drive that ended in a 51-yard field goal?
Yes. Yes, it was, because it was the unsportsmanlike.
Because you were down at the 12-yard line and you end up kicking a 51-yard field goal.
Because you had an unsportsmanlike and then a hold, and that put them back to the 34-yard line.
Yep.
So, still, great from Luke Borges. That was his longest kick this season. Down the middle, had the wind behind him to even help, and he nailed it when he really needed. After how that whole series transpired, where North Platte had 2 touchdowns, quote-unquote, called back, one to a penalty, one to a juggle that might not have been a juggle, which, of course, we'll never know until we see a replay of it. But the Bulldogs, if that was a touchdown, maybe this 3 straight touchdowns and 3 straight scoring drives from Millard South might not happen as quickly as they had happened like they did.
Dogs have had some great kickers in the past. I just was never here to see one of those. I think this is my first time I've seen a North Platte 51-yard field goal.
And I've always, in last year, same thing. I wish we saw more of those attempts from Luke Borges, because when he's allowed to use his leg, it is deadly, and it's gonna hurt to have him leave this year. He's been lockdown kicker for my last 2 seasons of football, so. You're going to hate to see him leave. You're going to hate to see all of this talent that's going to be gone. I think a third of the team will be graduating this season. But still got plenty of football left to go before we can close the book on this season. Bulldogs, though, got a lot of things that they need to do to still stay in this game, trailing Millard South and the Patriots at half, 35-10. Those were our game stats, brought to you in part by State Farm agent Bobby Campbell. We meet you where you're at and help you get to where you want to be. Here on the Quick Stop Halftime Show, we come back, we'll give you more and get you prepped for the second half right here on the WB's Fun Center live stream, FM 98.1 and AM 1410.
We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop. With your 24-hour convenience store. Fast, friendly, no one gets you more. Gas, food, your favorite drink. Get everything you need in a blink. That's why everybody stops at Quick Stop. We're always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
As your American Family Insurance agent in North Platte, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. This is Justin Thompson at the Justin Thompson Agency. Call me at 534-2400 or stop in at 501 South Dewey Street, and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Insurance.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The DNN Event Center wishes everyone a great sports season. With North Platte and Nebraska weather, things change quickly and can make our lives a little more difficult. Thank goodness for the DNN. The DNN offers hourly rentals for all types of sports practices, including turf, courts, batting cages, and equipment usage. Call the DNN Event Center to schedule your team's practice times and for more league information for all sports seasons. For over 30 years in our community, for your next event, the DNN Event Center.
Get ready for another electrifying night of fun under the stars at River's Edge Golf Course. Join them on Friday, October 18th for the return of Night Golf. It's a 9-hole, 2-person scramble with tee-offs from the Reds. For members, it's just $110 per team or $55 per person. And for non-members, $130 per team or $65 per person. That includes a cart, sleeper balls, 2 drink tickets, a prize fund, and light-up wristband. Don't miss out on the most thrilling golf event of the year. Sign up today at River's Edge Golf Course.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to the Quick Stop Halftime Show. 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop always open right around the corner here on the WB's Fun Center live stream. Jeff Smeltzer joins me here today also from the Telegraph. Jake joins me as, yes, the rain has picked up once again. I wasn't expecting it to come for a second round. I knew it would pretty much come for at least one round and then leave for a while, but it's coming back for a second round, and another round of the quarters will come about as North Platte High School now makes their way back out onto the field. Millard South already out there warming up. Jeff Smeltzer, the lead right now, 35-10 on the Wicked Fast scoreboard. You know, we talked about how we knew this game was going to be tough. We knew from the very get-go this was going to be a tough game against a very, very strong team in Millard South. Millard South will be getting the second half kickoff. You at least need, you got to start with the stop. And against a team like this Millard South offense, that's going to be quite tough to ask for. But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
You got to start somewhere. And North Platte, again, they've only put 10 points up, but I feel like they have been so close to really keeping this game still interesting.
Yeah, you look at the stats, and they're not out-yarded by a lot.
No, not really.
146 yards passing and 78 rushing, so about 220 yards for Millard South, and the Dogs had 172 rushing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not that lopsided stat-wise. Maybe small goals. Get a stop on the first series. Maybe you have a goal of do not get to a running clock.
Yeah,
Put
points
points
up on the board.
Yeah. Don't let them put a running clock on you.
Again, 1 foot in front of the other as I'm looking at it. They just showed a little bit of a replay of that Max Negley touchdown, and I don't know if I saw any juggle. I don't know if I saw any juggle, but again, hindsight 50-50 on that call. But third quarter action coming up here on the WB's Fun Center live stream when we come back here to Bauer Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming on NorthPlattePost.com.
Thanks for listening to the Quick Stop Halftime Show. Second half action is next on FM 98.1.
Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998 and is now bringing those services to the North Platte area. Residential services, respite services, community services, and even day services. Hands of Heartland offers a full array of services from 24-hour supports to just a few hours per week. Learn more today online at handsofheartland.com. That's handsofheartland.com. Hands of Heartland, providing creative opportunities to live and grow.
Looking for a car buying experience that's a cut above the rest? Welcome to Zeller Motor Company, where you can experience the difference. With over 40 years of combined sales experience, Nate and Joe know how to get you behind the wheel of your dream car. And when it comes to financing, Amanda brings over 20 years of banking expertise to make your deal smooth and stress-free. Why settle for ordinary when you can experience the difference at Zeller Motor Company? Visit them today and drive away with confidence.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Bauer Field. Just notes the rain has picked up, but it's now third quarter action as it will be Millard South receiving the second half kickoff. The wind really starting to come down now. I talked about how this might be the last stretch of time where rain will be present. And for North Platte High School, at least breathes a little bit of confidence back into them, knowing that, you know, how much will that ball be affected for Jet Thamala to throw it. But you, of course, got to make it one small step at a time, as North Platte High School will be kicking here in the second half, trailing 35-10 on the wicked fast scoreboard to this Millard South offense, defense, special teams. I think the point here, please don't let another kickoff return happen. We all know Amir Hill, and he's got that speed and that craftiness. Bulldogs need to get down, wrap up, as Luke Borges will have the wind to his back and the rain to his back, as he'll now look to kick it off deep to Marion Jackson as well as Amir Hill. As the kick, very powerful, man, it's going a long ways, and it goes right through the back of the end zone, exactly what North Platte needed. And now here comes Millard South to start their first drive out of halftime with the wind in their face and the rain pelting their fingertips. And again, we talked about small steps for North Platte High School if they want to keep this game from either a running clock or at least keep it resemblance pretty close, as it'll be first down and 10 for Millard South at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of
Gabe Prucha here.
Yep.
See a lot of him. Pistol formation, one wide receiver to the near side. You can already see the formation change for Millard South to a run heavy. Thamala in the pistol. Prucha behind him. Thamala hands it off to Prucha. Prucha into a gaggle of black jerseys will keep the pile going and maybe pick up 3 yards. Second down and 7 for the Patriots. Is now 11:49 left to go here, and now there's an injured Bulldog on the floor once again for North Platte, I believe. Trying to see, that might be Blake. It might be Blake Tonkinson, as there's another interior lineman down for North Platte High School. Oh, actually, it's Trayton Burke.
Trayton Burke.
He gets up immediately, though, and is walking off, so he's gingerly walking off under his own power. So
okay, we'll see Owen Shea again.
At least a good sign that he's A-okay, but now we'll be seeing the wrecking ball that is Owen Shea, and you know what? Maybe we do need a little bit of that chaos thrown into the mix against this Millard South team, as it's second down and 6 for Millard South in their offense here with 11:46 left to go in this third quarter. Thamala once again the pistol, one wide receiver to the near side being Jackson. Thamala gets the snap, hands it off to Prucha. Prucha trying to shift his way around his offensive line, and he will find his way for a first down. 7-yard pickup for Gabe Prucha, and this is where North Platte really needs to start to use their physicality, because if Millard South's just going to run the ball down your throat, this is where this defense has normally been really good, interior run stoppage.
Now Trey Burke is back into the game, so he just only missed a play.
Very interesting formation to the far side, as it's now a pass. 4 wide receivers going deep down the field. Thamala now rolling to his right. He has some daylight, and Jet Thamala will now step out of bounds at around the, let's say, 40, maybe 37-yard line. If we'll see where they mark him. Second down and 1, as he'll pick up 9 yards. So Jet Thamala with a good run. Second and 1 with 11:07. They're so close to getting a sack, North Platte's defense is.
Jake Kincaid couldn't escape that big handful of jersey that the offensive tackle had a hold of. But All good, I guess.
2nd and 1 now. Pistol formation again for Thamala. Now we'll hand it off to Prucha. Prucha, though, gets stopped immediately and keeps the legs turning. We'll see if they stop him short of the first down marker. I believe bursting through the hole for North Platte might have been Trayton Burke. It was Trayton Burke, and they'll say that he is, just enough for the first down. They'll say that second effort, he didn't have the knees down as Burke blew through the offensive line. They say he didn't have his knees down, and with that, the second chance effort from Prucha will get a fresh set of downs for Millard South at their own 41-yard line.
Officials have much better eyes than they had 20 years ago. I don't ever see any measurements. They all can tell exactly where it's at.
Amir Hill now with a fake handoff as now once again
There's that middle screen again.
Now Chase Lofton has it. Lofton at the 50-yard line. He's going to keep his legs turning. Chase Lofton still going. There's a flag at the 45 to Chase Lofton, and now there's a little bit of extracurricular as getting held was Lathan Huntsman, as it looks like Lofton gave a little shove to Huntsman, but there is a flag at the Bulldog 45-yard line. It will be a hold against Millard South. As finally there, Jeff Smeltzer, that handful of jersey that you were looking for gets called.
Yep, sometimes handfuls of jersey are not a legal blocking maneuver.
And so that'll push this offense back from where they were situated now to the 45-yard line in Millard South territory. So it's first down and 5, I'd say, for the Patriots with 10:36 left to go in this third quarter. 35-10 lead on the wicked fast scoreboard. 4 wide receivers on the field. The rain has significantly dimmed down as Thamala will fake it and now step into another wide receiver screen to Jackson. Jackson breaks through one tackle. He's at the 45-yard line. 40 in some open daylight.
Tackle.
Cuts upfield. Still no flag. And then taken down at around the 18-yard line.
Offensive lineman down the field tackled the Bulldog defender.
Kurt Altig is furious on the near sideline, pointing towards offensive tackle there. Landon Von Gregson. So no flag, and now it's first down and 10 for Millard South inside Bulldog territory. Thamala stepping back, looking to throw. Going towards the center of the field, through the hands, and Caden Johnson was in the vicinity, I believe, of Amarian Jackson. Was the intended wide receiver there. It's 2nd and 10, but Coach Kurt Altig livid that there was a lineman not only down the field, but also essentially tackling defensive back.
He had him wrapped up nicely and took him all the way to the ground.
2nd down and 10 as Amarian Jackson steps off the field. Following that incompletion, goes right through his hands. Caden Johnson was in the vicinity for maybe an interception, but couldn't hold on. It's 2nd down and 10 for Millard South's offense. 2 wide receivers to the far side. Prucha in the slot. In comes Amarian Hill in the motion. They're going to fake the pitch, and now Chase Lofton. The ball's on the floor. They're going to say it's pitch forward.
Pass.
As it was a pitch forward. So an incomplete pass. 3rd down and 10 now for this Millard South offense. That rain, while not affecting really the ball throwing-wise, wide receivers and tight ends having a little bit extra trouble holding on to it.
Yeah, has not affected my stat keeping at all. I have not dropped my pencil once.
But you're also nice and warm up here.
I am, yes.
Owen Zeck has now checked in for this Millard South offense. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Prucha in the shotgun formation to the right of Jet Thamala. Chase Lofton in at tight end. Thamala stepping back, looking to throw. Another rush from Lathan Huntsman. He's trying to get there. Thamala's in some trouble. He's throwing the ball, and it will be out of bounds. An incomplete pass. Lathan Huntsman barreling through offensive lineman. Almost got the Thamala, and that is a now 4th down and 10 for Millard South's offense.
Huntsman did not go for any of the fakes. Nice job staying with him.
Now the question is, what will the Patriots do? They're keeping their offense out with a 4th and 10 looming. This could be a huge down for North Platte High School if they can get a turnover on downs from this Patriots offense. 4 wide receivers on the field. Chase Lofton here to the near side. Prucha in motion. Now comes Amir Hill. Now 3 wide receivers to the far side for the Patriots, but they'll get a adjustment of their play with 31 seconds left on the play clock. 3 wide receivers to the far side. Chase Lofton on one-on-one coverage to the near side. Thamala stepping back, looking to throw. Bulldogs bring some pressure. Thamala going towards the end zone. Jump ball! Tipped tipped and incomplete. A turnover on downs for North Platte High School. The intended target on the far side, I believe, Isaac Jensen. So they put two tight ends on the very far edges of the offense. That is a turnover on downs for Millard South. Their first turnover on downs today.
Is that Powell and Johnson back there on the coverage?
Yes, sir. And now here comes North Platte's offense for the first time here in this second half. Have to score on this opening drive.
So you completed your first small goal. You stopped them on their first possession.
Now you got to complete the second goal, at least put some points up, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown. You got to have something. As Johnson again under center with Alonzo Torres right behind him. Max Negley to the near side. To the far side, Rance Hofstetter in at speedback with Brecken Torres. Torres in motion. Johnson going to keep it himself. Now he's going to barrel his way forward and gets lit up from a Marion Jackson. On that quarterback keeper, Johnson might have only gotten maybe 1 yard. Jackson coming up from his cornerback position, laid the boom down on Caden Johnson as he kept it himself, but it's 2nd and 9 with 9:25 left to go here in the third quarter on the Wicked Fast scoreboard. Johnson again getting the play call from the sideline. 27 seconds left to go here in the play clock. Trailing by 35 to the Patriots. In motion comes Hofstetter. Johnson going to keep it. He tries to pitch it. Ball's on the floor, and it's going to be looked to be picked up by the side of Millard South. Another turnover for North Platte on a bad pitch from Caden Johnson to Rance Hofstetter. Wait, there is a discussion between officials if that pitch was actually forward. Nope. They'll give it to Millard South, and another turnover for North Platte. And Jeff Smeltzer, that one step forward now takes 2 steps back for North Platte. And with 9:01, here comes the Patriots offense yet again.
Turnovers are never good, but you definitely don't want to give them the ball at the 19-yard line.
That's now the second time today that they've had a turnover at their own 19. And here comes the Patriots once again.
All right, bow up there, dogs.
1st and 10 for Millard South at the 19, so it's their another red zone, their second red zone of this quarter. Thamal is in the shotgun. Going to hand it off to Prucha. Prucha on the counter will get tackled from behind by Blake Tonkinson, and he'll pick up a good handful of yards, maybe 7 off the initial burst from Gabe Prucha. Actually, they're actually give him 3. It's well, actually, correction, 5, so it's 2nd and 5 now.
6 yards to go for Millard South.
8:42 now left to go as checking back in comes, I believe, Marion Jackson. Actually, correction, that's Deshaun Prince seeing action for the first time today. Thamal in the shotgun. Amir Hill at running back. Now the check down to Amir Hill. Hill now will try to break through a tackle, and he'll fall forward to around the 7-yard line. There is a flag at the line of scrimmage. And there's a hold on the offensive side of Millard South. So far, I think today, while the turnover battle is going clearly the way of the Patriots, penalties, though, have been a thorn in the side of this Patriots offense all game.
Yeah, coming at inopportune times.
Feels like a North Platte type of situation.
Get a first down, called back by a hold. So
about 1st and 15 now for the Patriots. And, it doesn't really matter too much with how much they can extend the field, as there's 3 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side. So 5 wide receivers in for Millard South. Empty backfield for Thamala. He'll step back. Some pressure from the Bulldogs. Thamala looking. He'll throw towards the sideline. Wide open there. I believe that's going to be Isaac Jensen. He breaks through 2 tackles, and Isaac Jensen in for a touchdown. They might say he steps out of bounds. They'll say no. It's a confirmed call. So Isaac Jensen breaks through 2 North Platte tackles and a touchdown in just a mere matter of seconds for the Patriots. It's now 41-10 on the Wicked Fast scoreboard.
I think that gives Tamala 200 yards of passing on the evening.
Oh man, it is
37 in for the PAT.
Going from bad to worse here for North Platte High School as the kick is up, and it is good. And Millard South now takes a 42-10 lead here on the Wicked Fast scoreboard with 8:41 left to go here in this third quarter. Timeout's brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. His location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B for all your farm, crop, auto, home, and commercial insurance. Also, thank you to Hands of Heartland. Hands of Heartland has offered support and services to those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998, and now bring those services to the North Platte area. So, Jeff Smeltzer, we talked about taking one step forward at a time. The Bulldogs, unfortunately, offensively took 2 steps back with another turnover, and now trail 42-10. Back to, I would say square one, but back to, got to take one step forward.
Yep. Now your second goal. Do not let them get a running clock on you.
Yep, we're approaching, we're cresting that territory. 32 total points is the gap right now between these two teams.
What's the most points they've given up on the season?
North Platte?
No, Millard South.
I will look that up when we go to our next commercial break for you, but it has to be not over 20, I think. Well, actually, no, it was 35 against that Arizona prep team in the opening start of the season. But after that,
Nebraska
it's not
schools.
been,
What Nebraska schools?
After that, it really hasn't been too many. I think probably the Lincoln Southeast game was the biggest margin. 21 points against Millard North, and then 21 against Pavilion La Vista.
All right, so make that your next goal. Score 22 on the evening.
As the ball will fall down before the kick even comes to fruition. Can that wind still, while it may have stopped raining as hard as it has been, the wind's still playing a pesky problem here for the kicking side from either team today. 8:11 left to go here on the Wicked Fast scoreboard, 42-10. As here comes the kick once again from the Patriots. Another high one to the right side of the field as Sam Ewing's going to wave it off, and it goes through his hands, and it's on the floor. Maybe Ewing might have picked it up. The ref waved it off, blew the whistle as the ball went through his hands. So essentially the play was already blown dead before
Not sure
Sam Ewing even was able to jump on it. So a little bit of a saving grace from the officials there. But here comes North Platte's offense once again. Ewing is still on the field, but really got to, I want to say, at this point, just get some consistent momentum offensively here as Ewing to the near side at wide receiver to the far side. It's going to be Brecken Torres at speed back. Johnson under center in motion. Here comes Alonzo Torres up the middle. He will get stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage. He might have gotten a centimeter to maybe a yard. They'll say they gave him 1 yard. It's been a tough night for Alonzo Torres, but again, the interior of this Millard South team has just been getting so much work done against North Platte's offensive line. As Johnson again under center. Feels like the opposite of last year where the Bulldogs were able to get some good yardage to the outside but none to the inside. As this year North Platte has been a much better inside team than an outside team.
Yeah, that Elijah Malesa, number 54, he's very impressive.
As Johnson will step back, looking to throw another wheel route, thrown in the air, tipped away and almost intercepted by Amarian Jackson.
Yeah, he covered a lot of ground. He didn't even look like he was going to be part of that play.
They tried to do again that wheel route to Brecken Torres that was overthrown the last time they ran it, but Jackson luckily just bats it away, which would have been, again, almost a surefire interception if he tried to put both hands up, as it's 3rd and 9 for North Platte with 7:28 left to go. Here in this third quarter, Bulldogs trailing 42-10. Johnson under center. In motion comes Torres. Johnson going to hand it off on a sweep. Here comes Brecken Torres into the open field. Torres still going. He falls forward to around the 41-yard line. So it did a sweep, a reverse sweep from Brecken Torres. Handed off from Caden Johnson. And there's a first down for North Platte with some creativity. I do love when the Bulldogs get creative with their runs.
15-yard gain by Brecken Torres, and that hurt his average, believe it or not. That just dropped his 20-yard average.
Down a little peg.
Yep.
One wide receiver to the far side being Max Negley. To the near side, Sam Ewing. Roman in motion up the middle with it goes Alonzo Torres, and again only gets 1 yard. Second and 9 for, well, actually, correction, he got 2 yards, Jeff Smeltzer, so a bit of a bump in his average. Is second down and 8 for North Platte High School with Johnson again under center as Sam Ewing will come to the near side, guarded by Deshaun Prince. And now he'll motion in to be a blocking tight end as he'll reset once again with 16 seconds on the play clock. Max Negley to the far side. Johnson under center. In motion, Torres. Johnson going to keep it himself. And now looks to cut upfield. Caden Johnson trying to break down a defender and is spun down from behind. Johnson getting a lot of good work done towards the middle of the field. Will pick up about 8. Make it 3rd down and probably 2 for the Bulldogs. A 3rd and manageable, exactly what they need. 6:15 left to go here on the wicked fast scoreboard in this 3rd quarter. With 27 seconds left to go on the play clock as Negley and Ewing will switch sides. Negley now to the near side, Sam Ewing to the far side. Jones again under center. Still 4 defensive linemen up front for Millard South and the Patriots. Roman in motion. Jones going to keep it himself. He'll bounce and cut back upfield. Man, he almost got his head taken off there. I believe by Marion Jackson once again there with the tackle, but Caden Johnson gets enough for the 1st down, and North Platte keeps this drive running with 5:50 left to go, putting together a good 2nd possession out of the half.
Yeah, keep running that clock. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Again, you're not looking for those big chunk plays. Just keep running your offense. Down 32, 42-10. Roman was in motion. Johnson will step back looking to throw. Has a wide open man. He'll throw it behind Max Negley. He was unable to really step up, and now, Caden Johnson a little slow to get up, but he does get up all fine. But Max Negley wide open in the middle of the field. Johnson unfortunately couldn't get there in time, and now he's holding his wrist, Caden Johnson, his right wrist, as he gets up, but it's 2nd down and 10 for North Platte. Had an opportunity there, but Johnson couldn't find him in time.
Nope, just couldn't see him in time, and
Pressure was coming down.
I think more
on
than
him.
anything, he's just throwing that ball away.
Pressure was getting to him from the outside edges as Johnson now under center. Brecken Torres in motion. Johnson going to pitch it out just in time to Brecken Torres. Torres, though, gets nothing after a great open field tackle on the far side, I believe, once again from a Marion Jackson. So a 2nd down and 11. Should be 3rd and 11. Should be 3rd and 11 for North Platte. Mr. Pack, thank you so much. 3rd and 11 is 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side for the Bulldogs. Looking to be an obvious passing down with 5:02 left to go here in this 3rd quarter, trailing 42-10. Johnson under center. Steps back, looking to throw. Now rolling here to the right. He's in some trouble. Throwing it to the middle again where there's nobody around. Rance Hofstadter was trying to come cross
I think he was
field.
throwing that away again.
Johnson again getting huge pressure from the outside. I believe they're first on the seed, Harper Rutan, the senior, and now North Platte will go for it on 4th and 11 with 4:51 left to go. 42-10 lead. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Actually, correction, it's Brecken Torres that is in at speed back to the near side. Roman to the far side. Alonzo Torres behind. In motion comes Rance Hofstadter. Johnson stepping back, looking to throw. Stepping up in the pocket. Johnson throwing up and intercepted there. This time picked off by Elijah Mitchell. Mitchell with some speed. Going to be tackled down from behind there by Brecken Torres. First throw and interception today for Caden Johnson. Has looked really uncomfortable on these last 3 pass attempts, and that's a turnover for North Platte, and here comes Millard South the other way with it.
Under pressure every time. Just overthrew that one. Nice play by number 12.
I think actually Johnson might have been throwing with his other hand because he got injured on his right wrist on the first throw, and I've been wondering why his throws have been looking so wonky. I think he's throwing with his other hand as he's getting evaluated on the near side by the trainers. As Jet Famala will step back looking to throw. He'll look and step up, throwing, and it's almost intercepted and tackled out of bounds there, I believe.
There's a flag in the backfield, so.
Eli Broman had a chance on the far side, but there is a hold as that flag was thrown. But man, oh man, actually, correct, that's Brecken Torres out there on the far side. He had some great coverage, but
he did.
Once again, Famala with a beautiful throw, but that hold will give a little bit of daylight for North Platte as Johnson now back up and probably got some tape on that wrist. And I was, again, wondering why it looked so weird that he was making those inaccurate throws. He was throwing with his opposite hand.
I'm going to take your word for it. Carl, pull up the replay.
Yeah, again, now's the time we need to see Carl with his replay. As guess what, Jeff Smeltzer? The rain's back again. And it's starting to come down heavy and often as there's 4:32 left to go here in this 3rd quarter.
It's like the wind has calmed down a little bit, though.
Yep, that was going to be, again, the output. As the night went on, the rain was going to slow down. It's now 1st and 20 for this Patriots offense. 4 wide receivers on the field, 3 to the near side, 1 to the far side to the right of Famala, Gabe Prucha. Famala Oh, and we're going to have, I believe, maybe a false start, as before the play even got started, a flag gets thrown. False start on the Millard South offense. This is the second time today where they've kind of had back-to-back penalties, the Patriots. For a team that's as well-oiled as they are, so a lot of penalties tonight from his Patriots. Not only offense, actually primarily just their offense.
Yeah.
So now we'll keep scooting back the Patriots. 1st and 25 for Jet Tamala in this offense. Almost at the 50-yard line after starting inside the Bulldogs' 34. Again, 4 wide receivers on the field, 3 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Tamala hands it off to Prucha. Prucha going to shift into the open field. Here goes Gabe Prucha. He's going to go all the way to the end zone for a touchdown. Wide open center of the field, Gabe Prucha from the 49-yard line, a 49-yard touchdown run for Millard South. And Jeff Smeltzer and the running clock will now begin as it's 48-10 in favor of the Patriots.
Nice run by Prucha that time.
Again, that shiftiness, he can really laterally move, not lateral, but side to side. He can really move horizontally so well.
Kind of a little delay. Looked like it was almost going to be a screen, and then they hand it off to him, and
Takes it to the house, and now it's 48-10 with 4:22 left to go here in this third quarter as the kick is up. And it is good for the Patriots, 49-10. Thank you again to our sports sponsors here for today's game, Premier Toyota. Premier Toyota is just south of I-80 in North Platte, and they invite you to stop out and take a test drive here today. Whether you're buying a new or pre-owned vehicle, the friendly staff at Premier Toyota will help you every step of the way. As well as Another Round Bar and Grill. Another Round Bar and Grill is where fun meets fine dining, with the relaxed atmosphere of a sports bar and the sophisticated menu and service that you'd expect from an upscale restaurant. It is 49-10 here on the Wicked Fast scoreboard on our WB's Fun Center live stream. Paxton Gordon joined by Jeff Smeltzer once again. And while the score may be getting out of hand, Jeff Smeltzer, I think a much better performance overall compared to that Omaha Westside game from last year where going in the halftime, Bulldogs had, I think, negative 13 yards offense against that team.
Yeah, they're moving the ball, but it's just
again, those small things.
Such a good team that they're facing. You just can't make the mistakes. And
we talked about how they had to be almost perfect today.
Yeah.
And those little small mistakes, the three turnovers that they've had have really caused them. And of course, against a team like this, you have to play perfect.
Yeah.
You miss one touchdown, you get a field goal instead, you're already on the back foot at that point. Then 3 straight drives of scores from Millard South, and that's really how this game got out of control. And now it's up to North Platte to see if they can string together a good about quarter and a half left of play before they take on Lincoln High for the potential final game next week. Is picked up by Sam Ewing. Goes through his hands once again, and it's on the floor and might be picked up by Millard South once more. As we are waiting for a call, once again, Sam Ewing was the one trying to receive it. Officials having a conversation. And it is Millard South football. That's now another turnover on the kick return team. That's their 3rd turnover, I think, today.
That's the right call, but that's the same one that they blew dead last time when he couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, but another turnover for North Platte, and things are just getting out of control. I believe might see one more possession of this Millard South offense, and then they'll probably bring the backups in, up 49-10 against North Platte High School. And for a team that's been pretty consistent on special teams, these types of errors you cannot have. And again, it just boils down to how much of it is the rain. This is the first game this season North Platte's played under the weather. And you can tell on the special teams unit it's affecting them. As Jet Tamala in at quarterback, there's a new running back in. I believe that's A.J. Brown is bouncing the outside. Correction, that's going to be Isaiah Taylor. Is Taylor going to keep his legs turning? Isaiah Taylor shift through 3 defenders and in for a touchdown. It only took 1 play. Isaiah Taylor checks in for his first action tonight. And Millard South scores again. It's 55-10 on the Wicked Fast scoreboard with 3:41 left to go here in the ball game. Or excuse me, in the third quarter. Tackling, it's all the things that you thought had all been remedied at this point in the season.
Yeah.
Turnovers, tackling.
Jake Kincaid had him right on the edge, and he slipped through, and then I think he broke another tackle or a couple tackles after he got past
Isaiah
Jake.
Taylor making 3 broken tackles from what I saw, and the extra point is good. 56-10 with 3:41 left to go here in this third quarter, Jeff Smeltzer. And here comes the kick return unit once again. And again, there's no real solution to their muffed kickoffs.
Oh, you called the fair catch like you're supposed to. You just need to finish the catch.
You just need to receive it. Yep. And I don't know. Again, the problem is you can't let it get too far away from you if you're going to let it bounce on the floor because it's a live ball on kickoffs. So they just got to hunker it down as the rain now is starting to slow down just a little bit. And maybe if the ball can stay dry enough, North Platte can receive it. We'll see if they make any adjustments.
Yeah, there's some
There is an
personnel
adjustment.
changes.
I believe to the far side
Broman?
for North Platte. Yeah, it's going to be Eli Broman where Sam Euling has been all night, just in front of Lathan Huntsman. So once again, Dave Fajardo comes out to kick for Millard South and the Patriots. Up 56-10. It's now 46 points. I'll say 46 points unanswered, but I believe it's 35 unanswered, Jeff Smeltzer, if I remember correctly. Feels like it.
Might even be more than that.
As the kicking unit gets all set up for Millard South, ball blows over once again.
Yeah, it must be a little breeze.
Still
down
pretty
there.
windy out there as 42 unanswered points from some quick math.
Yes.
As Fajardo will now get ready for yet again another kickoff for Millard South. And we all pray. This one much shorter. Broman's going to call for it, and he'll easily pick it up at around the 33-yard line. Handled much better that time from Eli Broman. And now here comes North Platte's offense. Johnson's still out there. Again, the question becomes, how's his wrist feeling? Looked like kind of got a little bit of a sprain on his last offensive drive. That's why some of those throws felt so weird. It felt like he was throwing it from his offhand or he wasn't really getting a good grasp on it. But two wide receivers to the near side for North Platte High School. To the far side, I believe a new running back is in. I think that's Luke Borges in at running back to the far side for the Bulldogs as the rain picks up heavy once more. Johnson under center. In motion comes Brecken Torres. Jones going to keep it and pitch to Luke Borges. Borges with some speed,
Nice block
trying to
on
break
the
through
edge.
in the open field. And Luke Borges, the senior who started this year off as the backup speed back, gets a nice pickup and will fall down to around the 40, correction, that'll be the 37-yard line. So a pickup of about 4 yards for Luke Borges as he's still in. Two wide receivers to the far side. Brecken Torres in as the other speed back.
Yeah, it's nice to see him on senior night getting work at running back.
He originally was listed as the backup speed back to start this season before he got injured early in that Kearney game. As Borges in motion again. Here comes a sweep to Brecken Torres. Torres has a little bit of daylight. He'll break through almost one tackle. Great open field tackle. I believe that was going to be Deshaun Prince. Wraps up Brecken Torres, but Torres will get 6 yards for the first down. And
that puts him at 100 yards for the day.
Good to see that. Brecken Torres, I don't think, has had a 100-yard game this season. So after all the injuries he's gone through, to see him bounce back on senior night and pick up 100 yards, got to be proud of how he's bounced back this season. As still on the field, Borges to the far side. To the near side at wide receiver, I still believe is going to be Max Negley. Johnson under center. In motion comes Borges. The handoff up the middle to, actually, the pitch now out. Once again, not a good pitch. It's on the floor, and it might be a turnover once again for North Platte. Nope, they'll still keep it. That's another possession where Caden Johnson really hasn't gotten a good pitch. He's pitching with his right hand, the hand that he injured. Yep. So I wonder how much that's been affecting him, or really just the rain in general.
Trying to look, I think everybody on the field is a senior, except for, I wonder everybody is a senior.
Yep, I think.
So I wonder if he'll pull them all out at the same time on senior night.
And put the youngins in
That's
after.
what I wonder. Yeah, it's all seniors out there right now.
As the pitch now out to Brecken Torres. He tries to have some daylight, but yet again there to stop it. Easton Velota blows through the offensive line. A huge loss for Brecken Torres. So what was his 2nd and 15? Now pushes the Bulldogs back even further to their own 34-yard line. It's 3rd and 19 for North Platte. But I agree, all the seniors are in right now to give them one last offensive hurrah before they are substituted for the reserves, I'd assume.
Give them another series here on Bauer Field on senior night. Last chance to do that.
As Johnson under center with Alonzo Torres right behind him. Johnson will step back and look to throw. Rolling now to his right. He'll throw down the field to Max Negley. He tries to fight through some contact. Negley again. Oh, and he might be cramping up. Thank heavens. He was grabbing his leg, but Max Negley cramping up as incomplete. Negley again almost had a heavily contested catch, but it's 4th and 19 with 11 seconds left to go before the end of this third quarter.
I'll agree he juggled that one.
That one we can all make a consensus
he
he juggled. But what a night for Max Negley, though. You know, you don't see a lot of wide receiver production throughout this Bulldog offense. Last year only throwing for 208 passing yards. And this season they have been a little more proactive throwing. He and Brady Hanneborg were such a dynamic duo when Hanneborg was still healthy before he had his season come to an end.
I was just going to mention another senior down there. There's Brady.
With his bright red, I think, blanket on or poncho. But, you know, it's good to see Max Negley at least continue to get some good looks and make some crucial big plays. Max Negley has been that receiver who's made big catches when they really need him to make some catches. So on senior night, to have him almost catch a touchdown but still continue to put up some good production is good to see. And I think Bulldogs are going to continue to go for it here, as I believe there's a new quarterback in. Nope, Joni's out there still. I was looking through and I thought I saw him. But 4th down and 19 with 7 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Bulldogs will go for it. Probably another obvious passing situation is that'll end the quarter, as I believe they're just probably going to let the clock wind out following that injury. We'll step aside here for a timeout. We come back. Quarter number 4 starts for North Platte High School here on senior night, trailing 56-10 over Millard South. When we come back, FM 98.1 AM 1410 and live streaming on the WB's Fun Center live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Is not great at making decisions.
Please do not ever ask me to pick what to watch on Netflix.
Which is why she likes Runza.
Oh yeah, I like my golden hot crinkle fries, I like my homemade onion rings, and frings, which is when you get both together.
No tough decisions there. Now, do you dip them in ketchup or our homemade ranch?
How could you do this to me?
Sorry. Come get our famous fries, onion rings, or both today. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Attention, North Platte and surrounding communities. Great Plains Health Home Care Equipment is now proudly serving you from their new location at 220 West Leota Street, Suite 1, right next to Great Plains Urgent Care. Their expert team is here to meet all your home care needs. Whether you need wheelchairs, mobility scooters, lift chairs, or more, they've got the equipment to make your home safer and more comfortable. Call Great
North
Plains
Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here, 4th down, as the kick from the Bulldogs and Jaden Dowse will go and take some couple of bounces.
Yep, I think he touched it.
By the Bulldogs.
I think it was touched by Millard South.
Around the 35-yard line, it was
Haremza.
touched by Elijah Mitchell, it looked like, and Ian Haremza picks it up. So finally, some good luck goes the way of North Platte High School.
Great coverage by Haremza. Even if Mitchell fielded that, he probably only would have gained 9 inches. So Haremza, great coverage, heads up, recovered that muff punt.
And here comes North Platte's second team out there with Jaden Dowse at quarterback. I believe that still is Alonzo Torres at power back. To the far side, Sam Euling. Luke Borges in at speed back. I still think Brecken Torres is out there. Hand up the middle now with Alonzo Torres. He gets a solid gain of maybe 3 yards to make it 2nd down and 7 for North Platte. So Dowse out there will end the night for senior Caden Johnson. While probably not the best statistical performance from a passing standpoint, still a good game for Johnson, keeping many, many drives alive with his legs. So it's 10:48 left to go here in this fourth quarter, a 56-10 lead. Jaden Dowson at quarterback, but a lot of the starting offensive players are still out there to help him out, as Dowson with 10 seconds will get the play call. Now with 7 seconds left to go, Bulldogs might have to call a timeout here. 4 seconds left to go. Dowse under center, and there goes that timeout. That'll be called by the Bulldogs as they got the play laid into Jaden Dowse. And now with that, we go to a timeout. Again, timeout's brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. It's 56-10 on the Wicked Fast scoreboard. Jeff Smelter, last game of the season next week against Lincoln High. A game that should be a victory for North Platte. I think we'll all be saying that's a victory for North Platte.
Should go in favored for that game.
Yeah.
Be nice to finish the season on a win.
And again, they're still in playoff competition. We can't sit here and say that they're out of the playoffs. They're 15th right now in power projections. The one team that they keep an eye on was Creighton Prep. They lost yesterday to Omaha West Side in pretty bad fashion. So this shouldn't cost them. This loss here shouldn't cost them as much because we all know how good Millard South is in power projection points. But
and oddly enough, we were watching Lincoln Northeast to see if they could win one or two of their last games.
And they still have an opportunity
to help our
do
points
so.
out.
Yep, they still have an opportunity tonight. They have Bellevue West in the last game of the season.
Yeah, that probably will be a loss.
As Luke Borges in motion, Dow's going to step back, looking to throw. Quick throw, in and out of the hands of Jace Powell, incomplete. So we all know Jane Dowse has a pretty good arm.
He does have a pretty good arm, yeah.
It's so funny. We've talked about during our pregame warm-ups how it feels like all of North Platte actually has some decent passers on the field. They just, again, this offense never really allows them to flex that type of muscle as this flexbone offense is solely focused around the run. 3rd down and 7 here with 9:56 left to go on the wicked fast scoreboard. 2 wide receivers to the near side being Powell and Sam Euling. Lonzo Torres, Luke Borges, and Brecken Torres all on the field as running backs. Dowse under center. In motion goes Luke Borges. Going to reverse it and dropped on the floor, and that's another turnover for North Platte as Brecken Torres will drop the football. Immediately picked up here right around the line of scrimmage. I believe the person who picked that up might have been Elijah Williams, I think. So that's a turnover once again for North Platte High School. Jeff Smeltzer, man, how many turnovers? I've kind of lost count of how many turnovers this has been. It feels like the more we've talked about how they needed to be perfect, the more unperfect this team has become.
At least 4. I'm thinking this is 5 turnovers.
I think 5 now, yes. For the Bulldogs, 1 interception, 3 fumbles, I think, on the special teams unit, and then 2 from the running attack. So out comes, yet again, the Millard South offense once more, I believe. Taking over should be McAndrews as the handoff now to Isaiah. Taylor goes nowhere as Taylor gets gobbled up off the rip by Trayton Burke. Yeah, it'll be Blake McAndrews who will be taking over. Backup quarterback will be the heir apparent to Jet Thamal, the sophomore here. McAndrews, 5'10", 180 pounds. Of course, he's seen a lot of action this season with how explosive this Millard South offense has been. And still going to that 4 wide receiver set for McAndrews at the quarterback. Isaiah Taylor to the left of McAndrews. So he'll get the snap. Taylor now with it up the middle. Isaiah Taylor into the open hole. Spins through 1 tackle. There's a flag on the field, and now it's around the 14-yard line in Bulldog territory. Might be seeing a hold coming the other way for Millard South.
23 if it counts, but let's see what the flag is.
It was a 2nd and 12. As checking in for North Platte High School comes Jacob Martinez. And a lot of fresh faces are going to be on the field for the Bulldogs.
Oh, face mask against the Bulldogs.
Gosh, a face mask. And an unsportsmanlike on Millard South. So they're offsetting penalties. I wonder who had the unsportsmanlike. So it's still offsetting penalties, and because of that, Millard South will pick up, as you said, their yardage, and it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Patriots at the Bulldogs' 46-yard line.
Mark down that 23-yard run for Taylor. It's kind of like an Energizer Bunny. You just put a 9-volt battery in him and watch him go.
As McAndrews once again in the pistol, and now we're going to still have some more conversations, it looks like, maybe. Well, they might be resetting the ball. They're having a conversation, again, about where the placement was. Maybe we're seeing... someone's having a conversation from the Bulldog defense. I believe Lathan Huntsman having a talk with the officials about something. Whatever that conversation was didn't really amount to anything. It's 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 46-yard line with 7:38 left to go in the ball game. A 56-10 lead for Millard South. They are still having a conversation. Could it be about ball placement of where Isaiah Taylor ended up?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, because again, the penalties were offsetting. Whatever the conversation was, it's now concluded, and We're going to get back underway. 4 wide receivers on the field, 2 to the far side, 2 to the near side for Millard South. First and 10 here in the fourth quarter. As Taylor going to get actually up the middle now with it. McAndrews goes. He will then get immediately stopped by the leg. I believe there on the stop. It's going to be Blake Tonkinson as McAndrews now will pick up 8 yards to make it second down and 2 for the Patriots off of the RPO. As now checking in for the Bulldogs, Carter Still in at safety, the freshman. Empty backfield for McAndrews. McAndrews going to keep it and roll to his left. He runs into his own offensive lineman, and he's into the open field. McAndrews now at the 15. He'll fall right around the 12. There is a flag around the line of scrimmage.
Jake Kincaid was held on that play.
And now some more substitutions. Kalen Knutson checks in for North Platte, as well as Owen Shea, waiting for the call from the officials. Been very active tonight. First time in a long time we've seen this many penalties from either side. And they will start backing up the Millard South offense following that big run from Blake McAndrews. But again, very penalty-ridden game.
Yeah.
Which is not something we've become accustomed to in these last 3 to 4 weeks.
No, the last few games have been much cleaner in their play.
6:47 left to go here on the Wicked Fast scoreboard. It is 56-10 in favor of Millard South as Trayton Burke limping his way off the field. Ever since Trayton Burke started the game with that injury he had.
Wyatt Thompson takes his place, also in Ryland Perry, Malachi Camacho.
As again, Carter still in as McAndrews once again taking off on the open field at the 30-yard line. Blake McAndrews will fall to the 22. As McAndrews with a big gain for Millard South and the Patriots as they once again are almost in the red zone. 3 wide receivers on the field, 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Isaiah Taylor still in at running back. 6:12 left to go. Taylor now with it will spin almost out of a tackle. I didn't see who was immediately coming through the line. Blake Tonkinson explodes through the center of the offensive line to get to Blake McAndrews, and that is a loss for the Patriots as the clock keeps ticking now under 6 minutes on the Wicked Fast scoreboard. So no gain. They'll say he got back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 for McAndrews. 4 wide receivers back on the field. Taylor to the left of McAndrews. In motion with it now comes Schneider. McAndrews going to keep it himself on the RPO. Blake McAndrews going to be spun down from behind.
15 on the carry.
As they're on the stop for North Platte High School, Sam Euling with the tackle as what was a 2nd and 10 now makes it maybe a 3rd down and 4 for this.
81, Jackson Thomas into the game for the Bulldogs.
Once again, Jackson Thomas now in. And it's going to be picked up on the near side by the Bulldogs, I believe there. Might have been Alonzo Torres as fumbled between
Knutson.
Blake. No, that is going to be. Yep, there it is. Kalen Knutson. He got some great penetration up the line. It was a juggled snap and a handoff between McAndrews and Isaiah Taylor. And Knutson was able to just pick it off from the sky. And the Bulldogs take over. It's 1st and 10 for North Platte at their own 32-yard line. In this 4th quarter with 4:35 left to go. Still in at quarterback, Jaden Dowse. Behind him, I think, is Trayton. I don't think that's Trayton Burke. I believe that's Owen Shea in behind him. As now there goes Shea with the football. He's going to be spun down from behind and might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. So new faces in for North Platte's rushing attack. Luke Borges still at power back. Shea in at, Luke Borges at speed back, Owen Shea at power back. 4:03 left to go here in this ball game. A 56-10 lead for Millard South. Dowse under center again. As a man in motion. Now the pitch out. Here goes, I believe, Reed O'Brien. As Reed O'Brien will fall to about the 35-yard line. They'll keep Brecken Torres in. Pretty late to see Torres still in at speed back. As Ian Haremza is in also for North Platte. Sam Euling
Well, Torres is back to 97 yards. He'd had a loss.
Oh, no, don't say that,
He carried
Jeff
before,
Smeltzer.
so he was at 94. Now he's back to 93 yards on the evening.
3rd down and 7 for this Bulldogs offense with 3:20 left to go in the ball game. In motion goes Luke Borges. Oh, and they're going to jump off sides, and a flag will be thrown. So about 3 members went off sides for Millard South. Fidel Berry, it looks like, on the near side, as well as Matthew Butts, and then to the far side, I believe, if I remember correctly, it might be Brody Anderson. As Dallas on a 3rd down now and 2 for the Bulldogs, steps under center. In motion goes Borges. Hand off to Owen Shea, and he gets immediately stuffed from Zach Millard. Shea got 1 yard at the very least, so it's at least going to be 4th and 1 now. But Millard exploded through the offensive line of the Bulldogs to stop Shea. It's 4th and 1, and to no one's surprise, here comes the Bulldog offense once again with 2:48 left to go in the ball game. 4th and 1. As Dowse under center. Now taking himself, Jaden Dowse gets a very healthy pickup and a 1st down for the Bulldogs. Again, the senior Jaden Dowse also getting some action on senior night. And I think that's what's going to be the interesting project for next season, is who is going to be the starting quarterback for North Platte High School, as both the starter Johnson and Dowse are seniors. You would think the heir apparent to that would be Shea Patterson, as he is the JV starting quarterback.
He's looked good in JV games.
Dowse stepping back, looking to throw. Oh, Sam Ewing was wide open, but they tried to get it to Ian Haremza instead, so it's an incomplete pass for the Bulldogs. Oh, man, Sam Ewing had a step along the seam. I believe that was against Elijah Williams. So close.
Ty Christensen comes in on the offensive line for the Dogs.
Brecken Torres still in at speed back to the far side. It's 2nd down and 10 with 1:40 left to go here in this ball game. A 56-10 lead on the wicked fast scoreboard. Borges in motion. Dow's going to keep it himself, and now pitch it to Borges. He's immediately blown up on the play, coming from his cornerback position, Dayton Gaius. And just like that, it's a maybe a 2-yard loss for Luke Borges to make it 3rd down and 12. Is now checking in for North Platte High School, Griffin Butler, as out comes Carter Dishman. Dishman picking up a couple offers in the last couple of weeks. I saw on his Twitter, so good to see the big lineman getting some notice. As in motion comes Torres, as Dowse will step back. He's in some big trouble, as it looked like a little confusion on what the play was from the line, and Dowse gets smothered up front. A plethora of Millard South defenders there. I believe Aiden South was there. St. South was there as well as Marshall. And Bulldogs will go for it once again. A big loss. 4th down and 21 for North Platte. It looks like there was just some confusion on what the play was, as the line almost looked like just wasn't blocking. It let a lot of people come through.
Didn't even touch him.
And I believe they're just letting the clock wind all the way down with 23 seconds to call it timeout. 5 seconds on the play clock, as now there goes Coach Jimmy Pack talking about all the seniors here. And, well, it didn't turn out the way the Bulldogs wanted on senior night. You know, you still got to talk about and recognize this senior squad. Gaten Johnson starting since his sophomore season. The Bulldogs rotating out so many different talented offensive pieces at the running back position. We'll be losing Eli Broman as well as Brecken Torres. A lot along the offensive line. Broussard, Seth Penn, Carter Dishman. Of course, Jaden Dowse, Brock Matuzak, another one that's going to be gone. Cale Jacobson. So next year's going to be quite a seismic shift for North Platte, because I believe it's the first time in my time here that they've had such a departure of talent off this roster. It's been a few pieces here or there, but not to the level that we have seen.
You just can't emphasize enough the importance of the senior class to this football program.
And the culture that they've set forward for these young guys.
Not only is it a big class, it's a good class, a good group of guys.
A lot of them came from the younger talents. You know, a lot of them didn't start on JV. A lot of them made their way up through freshman, JV, and worked their way all the way to varsity. As Dowse under center here once again. in motion. They're going to pitch it out now. Here comes up the field with it.
Weaver?
I believe that's Camden Weaver. As Weaver's spinning around, and he'll be spun around and finished at around the 39-yard line, and time will expire, and this game will expire. Jeff Smeltzer, as it's a 56-10 victory for Millard South over North Platte High School. Now 7-1 the Patriots are compared to the Bulldogs, who are 3-5. Still beating their record last season, where they only accrued 2 wins overall. So the Bulldogs will finish with a much more positive record, but a lot of what-ifs of what this season could have been if they maybe were a few plays, different in some of these games. The Lincoln East game, the Lincoln Southeast game, the Columbus game, all those games really going to be looked upon at the end of this season as just a lot of what if we played a little harder, if we didn't make a mistake here or there.
With the exception of this game, which in my opinion, this is the best team in the state of Nebraska.
Yeah, even though Omaha Westside has the record and the power projection points, I don't think Omaha Westside's offense can compete with the amount of weapons that this Millard South offense has. Yeah. You just try to stop Jackson, well, there's Amir Hill. You try to stop Amir Hill, well, guess what? Chase Lofton, 6'6", and he can't be stopped. Isaac Jensen as well. And then you can't really count out Gabe Prucha, who, while not statistically is having a standout season, he has been integral to relieving a lot of the things, or relieving a lot of the pressure from Jet Thamal when maybe he needs a break or at least want to go a different way. Like in this game when the rain had, played a factor in the throwing attack for Millard South.
Yeah. Other than this game, the Dogs were in every game that they played. Even Kearney was only a 20-0 game.
Yes, even though it was a 20-0 game, there was a couple of drives that if they did, again, we go back to the fumbles. If it wasn't for maybe a couple of bad turnovers, they probably would have actually been much closer and on the cusp of maybe winning that game over Kearney. And outside of that, the worst game you can say from a blowout standpoint, Columbus might have been the furthest game where they had the biggest lead in the loss. They were 1 score away from Lincoln East. They were, I think, 2 touchdowns in the Columbus game, and of course this one you can kind of just throw off the record because it's Millard South. It's so tough to. This team is the second and maybe the best team in the state for a reason, and they showed it here today. But the Bulldogs have been in every single game that they've lost in. It's not like they've been last year they just felt like they were, even in those games they lost, they were nowhere near being competitive in them.
Southeast, you give them the ball with 1:50, they go down on a broken coverage and they end up
scoring.
Lincoln East had the ball
driving and then fumbled
the ball about the 50-yard line or the
I think
Lincoln
it was
East 40
in the 20 even. No, it was in the 20.
It was even in the 20.
They were driving down there. So again, bad position there. Come off the bus against Columbus very flat, which was shocking. That was probably the only game you can sit there and be like, that was just poor performance-wise. But outside of that, the Bulldogs have been in every single game. They've never given up. Even in this one when, you can look at all the turnovers that they had and how the points swung so drastically, in 3 straight possessions for Millard South. They still tried to keep their head up and still tried to get positive plays, which they did in the second half. They still got positive plays that just the points didn't come their way, and that's sometimes how it goes this season, where you've seen the positive things this team can do. It's just the score doesn't reflect upon how good this team actually played overall.
Yep. Again, we just emphasize the narrow margin of error, and 5 turnovers is not a narrow margin of error.
We busted that margin of error in the wrong direction there.
Yep.
And again, in a lot of that, some of those were sloppy mistakes. A lot of those were, I can't even say some of those were sloppy mistakes. I think all of them were sloppy mistakes. Maybe the Caden Johnson interception, you're just trying to make a play and you're down, but the botched kickoffs that resulted in free points towards Millard South, those 2 bad pitches that Caden Johnson had, which he wants back, and how much of that was the rain, how much of that was his wrist injury.
And just being a competitor. He wasn't going to pick up the yards with his feet. Maybe he has a chance, so he tried to make a play, and you don't fault the kid for that. Looking at seniors out here one last time.
You hate to lose on your senior night, and then also the realization that next week could potentially be it. The Bulldogs coming into today were 15th in power projection in the state, so they might now be on the outside looking in. They need a little bit of help to go their way.
Pretty sure it's the last time on this field.
It is their last time.
I don't think there's any way that they can get a game here. So.
Yeah, because if they do make the playoffs, their opponents, unfortunately, would be Omaha West Side or Millard
rematch
South
here,
in Millard South or
On the
Omaha
road,
West
yep.
Side, and so this will be the last time that they will be at home, and a lot of great memories come from this field for a lot of these guys. Of course, Caden Johnson's greatest moment happened 2 years ago, almost on this exact same night when the Bulldogs took on Omaha West Side and upset them. And it looked like to start this game, I wouldn't say that was a trajectory that they were going on. The Bulldogs looked pretty competitive in that first quarter, and halfway through the second quarter, they looked like they were keeping Millard South on their toes until, that one mistake, cost them not just a free touchdown and then two straight scoring drives after that, and the game just turned on its head in the blink of an eye.
Yep. Special teams, you give up the long kick return.
Yep.
And that was right.
I think that was right before
that
half.
would have been right after our field goal.
Yes.
That would have been
sir.
after the big 51-yard field goal. You think, you're going to kick it through the end zone. You got the wind at your back, and it falls a little short. And, wow, Hill is fast.
It's so tough. And, last year against Omaha West Side, the same thing happened. Who do you focus your attention on? It felt like last year there wasn't as much of an overwhelming amount of talent in terms of who was the star player on that Omaha West Side team. They were just also well-rounded. You had a great quarterback. But here it just feels like, okay, you guard Marion Jackson, who's, by the way, a junior, so we'll see him next year. Then you leave open Amir Hill. Okay, you try to guard Amir Hill. Okay, well, then Jackson's open on a wide receiver screen in the middle of the field, which I think is the most interesting play call I've seen, but it works so well against his own defense. Okay, you try to guard that. Chase Lofton, 4-star commit to Florida State. He's open.
Yep.
Isaac Jensen, who is the leading receiver for Millard South this season, while he was relatively quiet today, there's another threat. Both of them at 6'6", so you're having trouble trying to, from a statistical height perspective, guard those players. And then, you wanna stop that? Well, I got the run with Prussia, and then Jet Thmala, who, while not being a lot of his work gets done on the ground, he's still a threat out there.
Yeah. All those skilled players are going to play college ball somewhere. Quite a few of them will be Division I. And their line was impressive too. That offensive line
and their defensive line too. So, and again, you can play benefit to having to play just one side of the ball, so you're always fresh. North Platte known notoriously for having to play both sides of the football. So as the game grew on, things got a little lighter for that Bulldog offensive line unit. As we're joined here by head coach Kurt Altig after our jibber jabber session here as we get to the conclusion of this game. 56-10, the final score here for the Bulldogs. Again, while the score might not have been the way you wanted it to go, I thought the first quarter and a little bit into the second quarter really kept Millard South on their toes, and they were struggling to find ways to stop your offense.
Yeah, there hasn't been very many times this year that they've been down in a football game. So, we wanted to take the ball and, do our thing, and we did. And there hasn't been very many times this year that they haven't scored touchdowns on their first possession. And, we had a big turnover. And, we played really well for about, I don't know, I'd say maybe 18, 20 minutes of that first quarter and the second quarter. And then, we had whatever happened in the end zone a couple times. And our guys, they're passionate and they lost a little composure. And, then it kind of started a little bit of a spiral. And then, they're a good team. And when you make mistakes, they're gonna roll all over you.
He capitalized 3 straight scoring possessions after that compared to year 0. And of course, that a lot goes back to those 2 touchdown negates. The one was a penalty, so there's not much conversation on that one. But the conversation can start on that the next Max Negley touchdown grab. Tough to see from probably our perspective and your perspective being on the opposite side of the field. But from what it looked like, everybody was super passionate that he came down with the reception on that play.
Yeah, I don't know. They said he bobbled it, and from where I was, he fell in the end zone. So whether he bobbled it or not,
didn't matter.
It was going to be a catch. But you know what? It's I've been doing this for 22 years now, and I've never seen an official pick up a flag when we're arguing about it. And we came out and we put Luke on the field, and he made a 51-yard field goal, and tip a hat to him, and then we were still rolling, and we just can't have silly penalties. And then we had we gave up a couple guys didn't think they could go out on kickoff. We gave up a kick return, and then you don't get the get the ball and, you fumble the ball on the kick return and, bad things happen when you're playing really good teams like that.
Yep, we talked about how the margin for error in today's game had to be like 1%, maybe even lower in terms of how much of a width you had to commit some errors. And probably the worst turnover game you guys had this season, a lot of it coming from the special teams. And how much can you chalk that up to really just the weather? It did rain a lot during those times that you were out there on those kick returns, but a couple of them just looked like plain old muff kickoffs.
Yeah, that was we saw it on film from last week. They're kind of a pooch it down there, and we talked all week about just fair catching it, and then you add at certain times the wind was pretty powerful, and then you add the deluge that was going on, and makes the ball slip or slick, and then you drop it and don't recover it, and again. You give them the ball on a short field.
And they're always going to convert it, being how high-powered they are. Now, of course, when you look at these games, look at the score and feel like there's not much you can take away as a positive. But in your mind, outside of that first maybe 18 minutes, what do you think the team did very well that you can take into the final game of the season next week?
We talked about keeping our composure and coming out. And you know what? Football's the best team sport there is. And it's raining. And you know what? Stuff isn't going our way, but we can always control our attitude and our effort. We're going to go out. We're going to play hard. We're going to play the right way. We're going to go out and have some fun. Obviously it's way more fun when you're winning the game, but you know what? Let's go out and get after it, and look forward to next week and going to Lincoln High, and then hoping we get a little help and have a couple more games.
Yeah, this has been kind of the weirdest I've seen the Class A bracket look in quite a while. There's a real gaggle of teams that are sitting at 4-4, 3-4, 3-5 that are on the cusp looking in or on the back end, hoping to stay alive. You were tied for 15th coming into this game with Pavilion La Vista South, so you'll probably, depending on how Fremont plays, who's the team behind you guys, as well as the Titans, you might slip out. But you guys are still on that cusp of making the playoffs, even after some of those games that didn't go your way, like of course the Lincoln Southeast and the Lincoln East game.
Yeah, we talked early in the season about games, especially the Columbus and the Lincoln Southeast game were games that would have put us in pretty positions to make the playoffs, and now we just need some help. And I've been doing this long enough. Just about the time you think you have all the decimal points figured out, somebody wins that shouldn't, or somebody loses that you didn't think would, and the next thing you know, here you are, and you know what, we'll take any help we can get, and we're going to go and get after Lincoln High next week, take care of business there, and then just cross our fingers that we get some help somewhere else.
Tonight, senior night, as we talked about all season, seniors have been a crucial part to this team culture, and today was their last home game. So what was it like emotionally at the end of the game, getting to talk to not only the team but also to the seniors independently about not only their memories but just really how happy and proud of how much they've developed, not as players but also as men?
I was actually the head freshman coach when these guys were freshmen, so I've coached them for a long time. Right now I'm not too focused on that this was, might be their last game here, but we got a lot of football left. Mm-hmm. So we're focused on, all eyes forward and getting ready for Lincoln High and hopefully playing for a few more weeks after that. But, they are a really good group of guys. I don't know how many games I've coached them. It's been a lot. A lot of them have played since they were sophomores, and they're a good group, and we'll hate to see them go, but luckily we have one more week and hopefully a few more with them.
That's what you love to hear. Is Jeff Meltzer got something you'd like to talk about?
How did you keep 23, 25 seniors interested in football all 4 years? When you look at like Omaha, Benson, and schools that struggle with numbers, how do you keep such a large class intact? And
a lot of that goes to just that group of boys. They've always been passionate about football, and then it really helps when you come in and as sophomores you play on Friday nights and you keep that core group, and when you start 11 seniors on offense and 9 seniors on defense, you're going to have a pretty good crew, and again we'll hate to see them go eventually, whenever that is, hopefully down the line more, and then obviously our young guys are going to have some big shoes to fill.
Yep, and of course, eclipsing your win total last year, I think it was 2-7 last year. You're so far 3-5 with still one game left to play and maybe even a playoff game. So do you feel much more confident to see the growth from year to year, even though maybe you would wish for a couple more wins points to go your way, you feel happy with how this team as a totality compared to last year's played?
Yeah, we came out and last year we had a few times where we kind of gave football games away, and this year, anytime we have the ball, we're going to give you our best shot, and probably one or two plays here or there, and we're looking at having a couple more wins and sitting pretty in the playoffs, but. These guys have been doing it long enough. They're going to battle, and whether you're on the flex bone or not, we're going to come out, and whether we're on top or we're behind, and we're going to do our thing, and we're going to get after you.
That's what you love to hear. Of course, Lincoln High next week's last game of the season. What you got on your early look to what you need to do good to secure that last win of the season and hopefully make your way into the playoff?
Well, they're, the Lincoln High, they're going to come in. They got big linemen. They're very similar to Southeast. They kind of run power football, so it'll be one of those, possessions are precious, so we just got to come out and do our thing and offensively and take care of the football and, play tough up front defensively and, and just keep the old. I tell the guys it's blunt force trauma. We're just going to go out and we're going to smash people and it's blunt force trauma and over and over and over again. And even Millard South here tonight, they didn't like it for a bit.
No, they didn't. To start those first 18 minutes, they weren't having a fun time until things unfortunately got out of hand and unraveled. Well, Coach, thank you once again stopping on by. Hopefully, it kept a little drier on the sideline.
It wasn't terrible. I'm glad it wasn't a few degrees colder.
Well, it feels like, I wouldn't say payback, but it feels like almost like a reverse opposite. You come up here and feel like you're melting in the press box on certain days, and now you're out there feeling the cold drenches of the rain.
Yeah, nothing better than Friday night football in October, when it's.
I wish it was August. That'd be fun.
When it's raining. So.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for stopping on by once again. I'll see you in Lincoln next week for what could be potentially the last game of the season, but maybe, hopefully, with a victory, some playoffs is on your horizon.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That was head coach Kurt Altig here on the Quick Stop post-game show. We'll step aside and we come back. We will talk to you about some statistics and get you ready for next week's game against Lincoln High right here on the WB's Fun Center live stream, as well as FM 98.1, AM 1410, and on NorthPlattePost.com.
This October, your choice to buy local can make a world of difference at Bill Summers. Treat yourself to a new ride. No trickery, just wicked good offers that give back to the community. Again this year, Bill Summers is giving back to the community by donating a portion of each sale in the month of October to the North Platte Callahan Cancer Center. So this October, choose Bill Summers for a car buying experience that matters. Stop out today or check out BillSummers.com 24/7. Make a world of difference in our community, one ride at a time.
Attention barbecue lovers. Smokin' Double D's at Butch's in Hershey is locally owned and operated. They smoke all their own meats low and slow to bring you award-winning barbecue. Join them Tuesday through Thursday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Friday and Saturdays till 11 p.m., and Sundays from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., with breakfast served on Sundays from 8 to 11. And don't miss their chicken fried steak every Friday night and prime rib on Saturdays. Smokin' Double D's, making greatness happen overnight in Hershey.
Your family depends on you. That's why you work hard to make sure they have everything they need. With life insurance from American Family Life Insurance Company, you'll feel good knowing you've taken steps to protect what matters most. Now's the time to plan ahead. Let's talk about protecting your loved one's financial future and finding peace of mind you and your loved ones deserve. For details, contact Justin, 534-2400, or stop by 501 South Dewey Street, just south of Little Caesars Pizza on the corner of E and Dewey.
American Family Insurance.
Get ready for the ultimate fun day out. Start at Pregame's Tap Room with a brand new menu you won't want to miss. Catch all of the action on game day with your favorite teams on our big screens. Pair the excitement with amazing drinks, and you got the ultimate game day experience at Pregame's Tap Room. And when you're ready for more fun, head over to Wild Bill's Fun Center. Dive into our action-packed arcade, knock down pins in our bowling alley, and gear up for an epic laser tag battle. There's something for everyone at Wild Bill's Hills, where the fun never stops.
Whether you're a weekend warrior, youth, or professional athlete, the Great Plains Health Sports Medicine Team has you covered. The team includes orthopedic surgeons, athletic trainers, and other healthcare specialists who spend their time at local high school and college sporting events, ensuring that athletes stay as injury-free as possible. In the event of an injury, the team remains committed to returning athletes to competition as quickly and safely as possible.
Contact the Great Plains Health Sports Medicine Team by calling 308-568-7456.
PuroClean of North Platte delivers fast water, mold, and fire damage restoration services to the North Platte area. PuroClean knows how challenging those times can be to you and to your family. Their Nebraska-based experts have a winning, reliable combination of training and equipment partnerships. Local, fast service in the North Platte area. Their average on-site time is 60 minutes, and they'll coordinate with your local insurance provider. Give PuroClean a call now at 1-800-775-7876 and schedule a visit from a member of the team at PuroClean in North Platte.
The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM, KOOQ AM North Platte. Enjoy great food, including new bone-in wings from Merrick's Ranch House. Dine in, order online at merricksnp.com. Use DoorDash or call 532-8200 for carryout.
It's the Quick Stop post-game wrap-up. Quick Stop never closes, with 24 locations open 24 hours a day.
Welcome back here to Bauer Field on the WB's Fun Center live stream, as well as FM 98.1 AM 1410. A 56-10 victory for Millard South and the Patriots. I mean, wow, we could have probably predicted a Millard South victory. I felt overall the Bulldogs, even including their bad turnover problems that they had, played a solid game. Of the first half, that first 18 minutes, as Coach said, really kept Millard South on their toes. I mean, Caden Johnson with a couple big runs, Brecken Torres, a huge 62-yard run, and it all boils back to the one point where, was that a touchdown? Wasn't that a touchdown on the second Max Negley grab? That you can maybe sit there and say that's where things started to unfold for North Platte High School after the 51-yard field goal from Luke Borges, then Amir Hill with a long 98-yard touchdown run on special teams on the kickoff return. Then from that point on, North Platte was just unable to stop the bleeding as they were their own worst enemy. And we can say that this season has been a reoccurring theme for North Platte High School, as the worst enemy actually hasn't been the opposing team. It's really been themselves. And that just brings to a lot of questions, and you always hate to play the what-ifs game. Well, what if North Platte was able to cut back on a lot of its penalties or a lot of its turnovers? What if Brecken Torres or Eli Broman didn't get injured in the first game of the season against Kearney? What if they didn't fumble at the Lincoln East game? What if they didn't give up that big reception against the Lincoln Southeast game? So there's a lot of what ifs, but again, that's just how football goes. It's never a perfect sport. Because if it is, every team we'd have games like 100, either 0-0 or like 152 to 149.
Yeah, it's sports, and that's why you play them, because the unpredictable things happen.
That's why you love them.
You don't play them on paper. So, score ugly, play-wise, they did some good things. And look at the stats before I break them down. Total rushing yards for the Bulldogs, 42 carries, 214 yards. A little over a 5-yard average.
That is miles better than last year, because I don't know if you watched that Omaha West Side game when I did the live stream. I think at halftime North Platte had negative 13 yards of total offense, and it was 48-0 at the end of the first quarter. So to play a team like Millard South, which I think we can say might be maybe even better than last year's Omaha West Side team. There's an argument to be made if that's the case, but to play them statistically and at least look competitive through a section compared to last year where it looked like you just got blown over from the get-go and there's nothing that you could have done, you have to say good step forward for the team.
It is. You just rushed for 214 yards against the number one or number two team in the state of Nebraska. I'm going to call them the number one team in the state of Nebraska.
I think they are because, of course, they almost beat that Arizona prep team, and that is pretty tough knowing that, Creighton Prep got blown out by a Missouri team when they went and did their thing. So I think they're the best. It sucks that they're not going to be able to finish their season next week, as Omaha Benson was their opponent, and Benson, of course, had to forfeit the rest of their season due to numbers. So you hate to see that. But overall, I think today You love what you saw from the determination and the grit. You knew it was going to be a tough game in terms of you're going up against a really great opponent. And they never gave up, even giving up 5 turnovers that were really all self-inflicted. They still put their hard hat on out there and walked out with a smile and their head up and still tried to put their best product on the field.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no quit the entire game. They fought the entire game. Came up short, but, that was expected. That was predicted.
You hate to sit there and say, because we all try to be optimistic, but they've beaten everybody this season by a country mile. And we've talked about the Kearney team, this third best team in the state, according to the power projection. They only put up 3 points against Millard South. Granted, there was a third week of the season, and
they lost 53-3.
52-3.
52-3.
So we say it every year.
Yeah.
We always think we always think this year's iteration of Kearney can finally do it, but they almost shut out that Kearney squad.
Right.
So they are a team that has put through, just grinded through everybody. Nobody has stood a chance. Even the third best team is a country mile away from Millard South and Omaha West Side. So the fact that you put up 10 points, and if we're really trying to stretch it, maybe 14 if that was a touchdown grab, and who knows how the game would have gone momentum-wise if they were able to get that touchdown. But you put up 10 points, which is better than Millard West, Kearney, and better than Lincoln High, and, of course, the Millard North and Papillion La Vista, the other two teams that put up 21 points each. Those two teams, top 10 teams in the state of Nebraska in Class A still. So you're fighting. You fight every single day, every single grindstone, and you keep your head up. I think that's what the Benson game taught them. And I think we always joke about how bad Benson is and that, you hate to see how they had to close their season due to numbers. But that team went out there with a smile on their face, putting their hardest work in every day. And I think the Bulldogs learned a lot from that game in terms of grit, determination, and just going out there and giving it your all.
Yeah, you're 25 seniors out there. Play for your brothers. It's probably the last time you're going to play on Bauer Field.
Most
Who knows?
certainly.
Most certainly it is.
Because you'll be the 16th or 15th seed, and then you're going up against Omaha West Side and Millard South.
Last time playing at home in front of
your friends,
family. And so shouldn't hang their head. Shouldn't
Still
hang
one
their
more
head.
game. This ain't the end of the season. You got one more game ahead of you, and you know what? Still, they're in playoff possession, in position for a playoff spot. That's the craziest thing. We've talked about this season almost like it was a disaster in terms of how many games that they let slip through their grasp. But we say that they're still in a position where they can sneak into a playoff spot if the cards were to play in their favor, and we'll get to that after we get to our game stats, brought to you in part by State Farm agent Bobby Campbell. We meet you where you're at and help you get to where you want to be. Jeff Smelter, let's start with the bad, and when I mean the bad, I mean the Millard South statistics. As we all know, that team is they were going to throw the ball and they were going to rip you apart from any which angle you went. So take it away, our statistician.
Gabe, we're going to start with the rushing yards.
Okay.
Gabe Prusha.
Yep.
14 carries, 124 yards.
He just looks so – his center of gravity and his balance, I think, is something that is so good and so fun to watch with him.
I think he was the best back the Dogs have faced this year. Not even close.
No.
I would have thought it would be the Kearney –
either it was the Kearney kid or the Lincoln Southeast kid. Boonbach was pretty special for that team. He was basically their entire offense.
He was.
Season.
I don't think he was as dynamic as – I don't think –
and that's the funniest thing. We joke that, Prucha's, on a tier list of who's special or important on that team. He's probably, the sixth most important person, and he is just as special and might be the best running back North Platte has seen this season.
Yeah, yep. Quarterback, Tamala, 3 carries, 21 yards. Muir Hill, 1 carry, 6 yards. Coming off the bench, number 27, Isaiah Taylor. 3 carries, 40 yards. And the quarterback that came in to spell some time,
Blake McAndrews.
Blake McAndrews. He had 3 carries, 45 yards, for a total of 236 yards rushing. So they did top the Dogs in total rushing yards for the day. Passing, the only one to throw a pass was Tamala, 15-21 for 200 yards. And 3 touchdowns, I believe.
I think what you can be proud about from this defensive game, they didn't let a big play up passing-wise. Last week the problem was they gave up too many big plays of deep bombs down from that Lincoln Southeast team. And this team, you can arguably say, has more weapons than Lincoln Southeastern the Knights did. And North Platte did a great job of really stopping the deep plays. It was, of course, the dink and dunks, which got you in trouble, and that's just what's going to happen when you play a zone defense and you're running them out, 15, 20 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you didn't put up the ridiculous passing stats, which if he's already at 2,000 yards after 7 games.
Yep. He's done for the season now, so he ends the season with 2,200
yards.
2,300 yards. 2,300. Okay. If it was exactly 200, he probably had 2,311 yards.
Okay. So throughout 7 games, if he had 2,100 yards before our game, he was averaging 300 a game, and we
6
kept
touchdowns in one of the games that he played against as well. So he is a great quarterback.
Yep.
He is soundproof. He is accurate. He has a big arm. He doesn't make many mental mistakes. And you know what? North Platte forced a turnover on a bad throw. Granted, it was a bad throw, but you were there to make the play. Yeah. So you were in position to do what you needed to do, and they did what they needed to do against Thamala. And he didn't, again, the Bulldogs, I think, beat themselves more than Thamala was able to rip them apart.
And it doesn't hurt to have a whole bunch of gazelles out there to throw to.
When you have 6 targets that you can throw to whenever you want without any issues, it does go easy to look through the read, and somebody's got to be open at some point.
And he's very good at making the reads on his own defense, which he's probably going to see a lot of because I don't think too many teams can man up against him.
Westside might be the only
team that can man up against him.
And maybe even them, they might go zone defense because they have so much speed and so much height. They can attack all levels, deep, middle, short, whichever you need, they can do it.
So, and you can run those little short passes to Hill, and he's just got
tons
jets.
Of speed.
He's got afterburners. So, good team. They're a very good team. We look over the Bulldogs side of things. Not nearly as effective in the second half as it was in the first half. They finished the night with 214 yards rushing, no yards passing. Had 172 yards rushing in the first half, so only 42 yards in the second half.
It's tough in the second half. We all know how the or the flex bone offense works. In the second half, if you're not within 14 points, the Bulldogs will become, I hate to say desperate, but you can see their offense gets a little more desperate, and they try to pass it more. They go away from what has been successful for them in the first half because they know we can't just grind the clock out.
Yeah, so Alonzo Torres, for example, 10 carries in the first half, only 3 in the second half.
Yep.
That's not what they're going to. The little gut punches weren't what you need when you're down 28 points.
And we've seen Torres carry the ball 38 times sometimes.
Yep.
So it was a tough night for Torres, not because he played poorly, but I think just because that he was the focal point for this Millard South defense.
Yeah.
They really wanted to stop the run up the middle. And Alonzo Torres has been the best, I think, the best back for North Platte this season, and he really was the focal point of this Millard South defense.
Yeah, and some of those nights he had 160-some yards rushing, and it just wasn't going to be the night. They had great interior line play. Alonzo Torres, 13 carries for 17 yards. Caden Johnson, 11 carries for 47 yards. That's a respectable number. Was it Jace Powell?
Jace Powell, I don't think got a rush. I would be crazy if he did.
Oh, he did. He had 2 carries for 2 yards.
Well, I'll be danged. Look at
that. Both in the first half.
Okay.
And
I assume Brecken Torres was the leading rusher.
Brecken Torres,
didn't get
9 carries for 97 yards.
Oh, I wonder if that's why he was out there so late.
Got to get that 100, but just fell short. Eli Broman, 3 carries for 44 yards in the first half, and that's what he ended with. He didn't get a carry in the second half. Luke Borges, 3 carries for 1 yard. Owen Shea had 2 carries for 1 yard. And rounding it out, Camden Weaver, I think, was at the last carry of the game.
He was the very last carry of the game.
1 carry for 6 yards.
I feel bad. I want to say feel bad, but I really wish this season went differently for Brecken Torres and Eli Broman because ever since they came back fully healthy, this second half of the season they have really rejuvenated this perimeter running attack for North Platte High School because we started this year. Alonzo Torres was just eating left, right, and center. He was the star. You can get away with having Rance Hofstadter. Of course, Rance Hofstadter was the backup quarterback to start this season. He got transitioned to speed back, and then you saw a lot of Javen Reyes, who was out for these last 2 games, he was a prominent starter because of those injuries. So once they became healthy, Broman and Torres, this offense looked so much more well-balanced, and that's what we were you hate to see it happen at the end of the year when you probably needed them at the beginning of the year.
Because those guys came with speed and with a little bit of a thud.
Broman's a bit – they are – you would think when you think of North Platte speed backs, shifty, pretty skinny type of guys, Colton Tilford was not the biggest bodied man out there. Eli Broman and Brecken Torres, man, and Javen Reyes, man, they got some muscle on them.
They'll rattle your chiclets. They'll thump you. So yeah, when they were out, you had speed backs, but they were speed. They weren't as physical as Brecken and Eli were. So good to see those guys back. I hope they finish out the regular season with. Hope we have 4 100-yard rushers next week. I hope all 4 of those guys can break 100 yards. And then we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah, right now, so it has updated from yesterday's games and today's games even. So Columbus lost. They were 4-3 coming into today. I think they were taking on Kearney, if I remember correctly. They are now 4-4. They sit 15th right now. Papillion La Vista South is 14th, 4-4. North Platte is at the moment, they are still at a 3-4 record, so it hasn't counted the Omaha West, this loss to Millard South. They're 16th, 0.2143 percentage points above Creighton Prep, who's 3-5. That's where Creighton Prep's going to stay at either 17 or 18 because they lost yesterday to to Omaha West Side. So the Bulldogs at the moment are on the playoff bubble. They are at the last playoff spot right now. Notable games for the rest of the season: Fremont 4-4, Norfolk 4-4. So Columbus, I would assume, lost. They lost to Kearney 43-14. Their last game is Millard North, who's 4-3, and Millard North.
That'll be a loss.
Yes, Millard North has played pretty good this season, so that could be because the difference between North Platte and Columbus is 0.4 percentage points away. So it's feasible that a Lincoln High win and a really bad loss to Millard North could be the difference. For Creighton Prep, they of course lost to Omaha West Side this Thursday, 47-7. They play Norfolk at Norfolk.
Ooh.
So this Creighton Prep team, not the Creighton Prep team of old. They've had a topsy-turvy season this season after bringing 100 freshmen in for their freshman squad.
For freshmen.
Yeah, they have been a little topsy-turvy, so that game could be Norfolk also 4-4. They've been a nice surprise this season. They're pretty consistent. Fremont, the next team, they're 4-4. They have Omaha Central. Central right now for Class A sits 12th at 4-3.
Yeah, I think Central wins that game.
Millard West is a full 1 percentage point behind North Platte High School. They, of course, have Lincoln North Star, who is 5-2, and then Omaha Westview, who is also 5-2. So theoretically, Millard West not going to make the playoffs with those 2 final games. Above North Platte, Papillion La Vista South, they have been the other team that's been on the cusp. They have 7-1 Elkhorn South next week, and Papillion La Vista South going to Elkhorn South. So theoretically, the only 2 teams that might be picking up victories, North Platte and maybe Columbus. Maybe. Or I'm trying to remember who was that.
Creighton Prep will probably beat.
Creighton. Yeah. So
that could mess things
Creighton
up.
Prep, Columbus, and the only 2 teams that could potentially keep North Platte out because Fremont, Norfolk, Millard West all look like they're going to lose. Papillion La Vista South facing a tough team next week. So maybe Omaha Westview. Let's take a Westview. They're the team above South. They're 5-2 with a 38 percentage points. They have Omaha Northwest tonight, who is 1-6.
So they should win that game.
And then Millard West at 3-4. So theoretically, they're 5-2. Omaha Westview
how far ahead of us is Norfolk? Are they?
Norfolk is actually behind us by 0.7143 percentage points. So pretty far, actually.
So if they beat Creighton Prep.
So, yes,
does that improve our victory over Norfolk? Does that move us up?
Yes,
points?
because Millard, yes, it should, because Creighton Prep right now is 37.5 compared to Norfolk's 37. So it won't be a lot, but it's still something.
And again, the odd thing, if Lincoln Northeast goes 1-1 down the stretch.
Yeah. Lincoln Northeast, their closeout schedule, they're 22nd right now, 4-3, Bellevue West.
So that
they lost to South Sioux City tonight.
They lost to South Sioux. Okay.
42-22. And they'll probably lose next week to Bellevue West.
They're definitely going to lose that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are points from Lincoln Northeast are done.
Yeah.
Not going to get any from Omaha Benson. Now let's take a look at Lincoln East, 5-3. That's the team that we, of course, lost by 1 touchdown. They have Lincoln Southeast to close their season. So that's going to be a weird game because we lost to both Southeast and East
so that'll be
by
a wash.
1 possession.
Yeah, I don't think that would benefit us either way.
We are basically praying that Norfolk loses. Well, I don't know, it's tough. Because Norfolk is a full point behind us. We beat Norfolk. If theoretically, if all things go well, we'd be the last team in because Norfolk shouldn't be over us because we beat them. I think. So I believe we'll win next week. So we'll get those points because Lincoln High is 25th, 2-5, 34 points. So it just depends on how much Creighton Prep, if Creighton Prep wins over Norfolk, it's all about how much did they win by.
Yeah.
Because they are the team that is sitting right behind us by 0.2, and they could be that final team that knocks us out. Because we all know how, I hate to say the NSAA is, but they do have a little bit of a twinge towards some of the Lincoln Omaha schools.
Geographical bias?
Yeah, just a little bit. I don't want to accuse them of that.
Kearney, they stand to win next week, right?
They are third, 7-1. They face Omaha Bryan, who's 2-6. Oh, also I want to give a shout out to Lincoln Standing Bear. Their first ever high school football victory came this week.
Oh, good for them.
The
Grizzlies.
Yeah, this is their first, I believe this is their first year of full enrollment.
Yep.
If I remember correctly. So they're one of the new schools that you always hate to see new school. Hate to see it from a sporting standpoint because they're just always going to get trounced by the more well-known schools. So congratulations to Lincoln Standing Bear. Got their first ever victory this week. I forgot who they played against, but good to see those young schools. So North Platte, I still think the destiny is in their hands. They need to win next week against Lincoln High. That is theorized that that's what's going to happen. And you have to pray that Creighton Prep Norfolk is a close enough game that Norfolk wins. Because if Creighton Prep loses and Norfolk wins, that victory shouldn't push Norfolk all the way above North Platte, unless somehow magically Fremont defeats Omaha Central next week. That's the other game that is going to be close. That Fremont game will be a close one. 4-3 Omaha Central.
Just handle business. Do what you can control.
Yep, and then just let whatever it's up into the air, up into the air. That's all you can. That's all you can ask for.
Yep.
That's all you can ask for. And for all the things that have gone on this season, where you left a lot of easy wins on the table, if you miss the playoffs by 1 game, much better than last year.
Yeah.
Much better than last year, where 2-7, it felt like there were so many games that it all just fell apart, and this team was really struggling to find any momentum in any games. Again, as you said, outside of this game, every game has been a slugfest. There's never been a moment where the Bulldogs haven't had a chance to win the ball game. Just they've been getting in their own ways, and that's really been the downfall of their chances.
Yep. So been a fun group to watch this year. Enjoyed it a ton, and you probably won't see me until basketball.
I will not be till believe the first week of December, trying to still finalize our basketball schedule. But, this will do it here for Jeff Smeltzer for his football. Of course, me and Carl will be going to Lincoln High next week. But Jeff Smeltzer did agree. Well, he came to me and he wanted to do some stats for basketball. And I was like, why not just come on as well and be a commentator? So you'll be seeing Jeff Smeltzer during the basketball season for both the boys and the girls. Excited for both of those teams because we are looking at a whole new fresh-faced group from either side. A lot of the names you're going to be hearing me talk about are names that mostly are new, but also at the same time names that didn't get much playing time last year, which is always fun.
Yeah.
In the sense of fresh faces, what can they do potentially, and then also it's a little frightening because you're like, well, I don't know how this team's gonna go.
It's going to be a reload on both boys and girls side, so
Heard a lot of good things, though, coming out from the boys put a lot of hard work in over the offseason. Coach Pack has been running that team into the ground since the start.
They're working hard. See what happens.
Yep. Well, Jeff, thank you so much once again for always stopping on by here. We, of course, will see you next year for North Platte High football. Love to see that. Of course, they'll be in this district for another season before the 2026 reclassification cycle begins, and then that'll be a whole conversation of what will North Platte do? Will they stay up in Class A? Will they go back to Class B? Will the rumors of the removal of the school limit in terms of how many people you need to be in a certain class, will that actually come to fruition as rumored? There's a whole lot of question marks.
Will they split Class A in half? They've talked about that. There'll be
Eastern, Lincoln, Omaha.
Well, it's going to be a 16 premier, and then like the other 16.
Well, that sounds
like
so
A1
great.
And A2. I don't know.
Oh, so it'll be like C1, C2, and D1, D2 kind of.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be.
You know what? I don't know the answer. It's just
there's so many questions about what's going forward in terms of the NSAA and what they want to do.
We've seen the best of the best tonight, and a couple of weeks ago we saw
the worst of the
worst. Team that was struggled to suit up 24 kids in Class A, and yet they're in the same class. And it's like that just boggles my mind. How can you do that?
Yeah, we could have a whole podcast and theoretical conversation about. What's
the answer?
What could be the solution to that? And of course, that'll do it here for us. Again, Jet Thamala and Millard South complete the victory here against the Bulldogs, 56-10. Thamala 200 passing yards in today's game, and then of course 146 on the ground total for Millard South. So Bulldogs will have one more game this season. They'll be traveling to Lincoln High next week for. Again, potentially could be the final game if they complete business like we are expecting them to do so. Playoffs could be bound for this Bulldog team, which I think would be a huge success coming off of last year where they only won 2 games. And again, anything can happen in playoff football, even though we know that if they stay where they're at as one of the last 2 teams in, they'll probably play Millard South or Omaha West Side, which is by far the 2 best teams in the state. Nobody comes even close, even if, the power projection says Kearney is kind of close. There's the gap between the top 2 and the third team is the Grand Canyon.
I can't see anybody else but Westside and Millard South in the championship.
Barring a historical collapse of epic proportion from one of those 2 teams in the playoffs. I don't see a way where they don't just run over Class A and then make it to the championship match, and then we see a brawl finally, because it feels like every time we see a team in the championship, it's like, this might actually be a good matchup, and then they just get absolutely rolled.
So it'll be a good one.
It'll be a good one. Well, Jeff, thank you so much once again for stopping on by. We will see you all next week for some North Platte football. I will see everybody actually tomorrow when the Bulldogs host a triangular in volleyball against Sydney and Holdridge. That begins at 11 o'clock with Game 1. The Bulldogs will play Game 3, which I believe will be around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock-ish. So that's where we'll be for the triangular. Bulldogs fall in this one, though, to Millard South, 56-10. See you all next week for more football action here on the WB's Fun Center live stream and on the radio, FM 98.1 and AM 1410.
Got a crack?
Looking for a blast of fun? Head to Wild Bill's Fun Center. Get lost in our thrilling arcade, hit a strike in their state-of-the-art bowling alley, and dive into the ultimate laser tag showdown. It's the perfect spot for fun, whether you're 5 or 95. It's fun for the whole family. It's also the perfect place to have a birthday party with their party rooms. Wild Bill's Fun Center, 1100 South Jeffers in North Platte, where the fun never stops.